Hopefully we're live. Fingers crossed. Let's see. According to this, I am, and I've got a viewer. Fingers crossed. Oh, and I do. I am, yes. Okay, guys. Hello. Welcome. How are you all? At this early hour, it's only 3:30 in the afternoon. Let's start with while we're waiting for everyone to join us. There may not be many because I know I've got off work early, not everyone else has. But while we're waiting for people to join us, hiya Tina, how you doing? Another blonde, how are you? While we're waiting, let's play the theme.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangle, up and woe. Black goo and Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Black goo and Antarctica, Gablers from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Welcome to the Hop and Woe Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. Save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters. Save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
What's that? What happened to my audio? Hang on. Is it input audio? Oh, can you hear me all right? Anyway, I'm going to assume you can all hear me. I just check settings. It says your audio something or other. Oh, it seems to be working anyway. Right, yes, it's this. You should be getting that microphone. Hello, everyone. Oh, wrong. That's it. I want that one. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I must apologise for using the potato cam. I decided not to risk my main webcam because it keeps freezing up. So live stream, I didn't want to risk using it. So I'm using the spare, which is not as good. I'm gonna have to replace the main one at some point. But it's had a couple of freeze ups over the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to risk it. This is going to be a long live stream as well. I've only just bloody got. I'm glad I got here on time. I didn't think many of you guys would be here. I'm glad so many of you are because it's a bit early. It's about 20 to 4 right now in the afternoon. And most people are going to be at work. But I've got 18 viewers, which is great. I sort of arranged my work. It's a good thing about being self-employed. You can do this. I sort of arranged all my work so that I could finish early and get back and do this. But I made a slight miscalculation, which meant I literally just got in like 20 minutes before I'm due to go live. So I've had to rush a little bit, got a cup of coffee. I have managed to start on time. But anyway, hello to Bernie Tucker. Hi, Ben. Love all your great videos. Keep up the great work, sir. Thank you very much. And this is going to be a long video. What's it about? You can guess behind me what you can see behind me there. I'll do that. It's easy to do with the potato can. But that's actually not a UFO. That's actually a water tower. And it's in the town of Varginha in Brazil. And something really amazing happened there 30 years ago today. Now, Red Ibex says here, R.I.P. Marcus Allen. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything about this, and there's been no official word from the family, but there have been a couple of people who have published obituaries, like Andy Thomas. I think it's okay to talk about it now. Marcus Allen's died. The guy, who's on Apollo Detectives. A man I was very fond of, a good friend, and I don't want to think about that right now because I won't be able to do this live stream if I think too much about that. But yeah, I will be doing a tribute to him at some point. But hello, David, Splendid Isolation. How are you? And another blonde is here. That's nice. And David, yeah, hello, David. Yeah, good on poor old Marcus. Yeah. Hello, Neil. And how are you, Neil? And DJ B2 and Pie Pounder. Cup of tea. Arts Channel, hello. Yeah, you left. I'm going to read out the notice comments in a minute. Insure Tech. Hello, Insure Tech. There's a lot to get through today. DJ B2 says, I'm having a mid-afternoon CBD-laced soft drink. Oh, my God. Don't tell me you're the reincarnation of Hugo Rune or dual incarnation of Hugo Rune. Pint of London Pride. Or I've got my coffee in my feminist mug, anti-feminist mug. And a bit of dragon juice. Rhiannon's did a good job with that music, didn't she? She really did. I really do like it. Thanks. It's great, isn't it? It's great, Bernie, isn't it? I'm really grateful to Rhiannon for that. Hi, Crazy Mark. I'm all right, thanks, mate. I hope you're well too. Right. Neil says there's. All right. Neil is giving a little preview of upcoming attractions on the Paranormal Peep Show. Yeah, I look forward to that. We have recorded it. That's going to be good. That it's an exclusive with David Griffin. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Click the like button, guys. Yeah, please do. Hello, Phuket. How are you? How are you? Varginha proves that the UFO visitation is absolutely real. I think it does, yeah. I think there's more than enough evidence for this to say it's real. I'll just give you a bit of background. I've got a lot to get through today because at 4 p.m., we're actually going to go and do like a live watch party, which I've never done one of these before. This is strange because loads of other people have, so I want to do this one. But I'll go through the notice comments. Arts Channel says, a bit early. Are you broadcasting from Brazil? No, I'm from home, but yeah, 3:30 p.m. is early for me. I mean, I know the last time I did a sort of out of hours live stream was the MH370 vigil. Oh, I think I also did one for 3i Atlas when it got to a certain point. And Crafty Nana said so sad about Marcus. Very, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't want to think about it too much. I'm kind of like, I will at some point. I'll do a live stream, but I want to try. I need to focus on this right now, otherwise I won't do it. Red Ibex says first. Well done, Red. And Wow Signals 6EQUJ5 says so near yet so far. Second, hey, well that's on the notice there. It doesn't really apply, but anyway, it's great you guys are here with me. All right, David says, I was going to watch the conference on News Nation, but Ben's coverage is much more preferable. Hey, I'm upstaging Ross Coulthart and Mark and Megan, what's her name? Megan Medic. Another blonde says, it's 10 years this week since David Bowie died. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he was an amazing chap, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's Varginha behind me. You can see it would look better on the original camera with well, it's a larger frame, but yeah, and you can actually see, like if you look there, can you see that little brown creature? That's actually the Varginha alien. That's a caricature of it. The Varginha alien, a bit like do you remember the interview I did with Terry Joyce about the Fresno night crawlers? The Varginha alien has become a little bit of a town mascot. It's similar to the although Terry disputes this, but there is, and she lives there, fair enough. But there is these phenomena sometimes take on a kind of like local legendary status, and they become part of the town's identity. And this is certainly the case with Varginha. This water tower was built after the 1996 sighting, and that is actually. It was actually designed to look like a UFO. It's literally a flying saucer. Right, Phuket, what's the skinny on this? What's the skinny? It's the magazine that Charlie Veitch was sacked from. Yeah. Let's see he's done a long video saying, I was fired from the skinny. But I'll give you the details here, because it's going to start actually in like quarter of an hour. But this is a press release here from James Fox, of the creator of The Moment of Contact, which is the documentary, which is there's now a director's cut as well, which I've watched, and it's important. It's directly related to this. And he says he's going to host a UFO press conference in Washington D.C. with witnesses, experts, and members of Congress. This is going to be at the National Press Club, 20th of January, 11 a.m., which is to 1 p.m. That is Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. our time, and then at 2 to 3 p.m. there's going to be American, and that's afterwards. The American Insiders on Crash Retrievals and Biologics, a call for immunity for whistleblowers. Part 1, Brazil. For the first time ever, a leading Brazilian neurosurgeon is revealing details of his direct contact in a hospital with a live non-human intelligent being in 1996. He and other Brazilian witnesses will be at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. on January the 20th, 2026 for a press conference. That's today. Literally in about a quarter of an hour's time. Quote, the truth is, I saw the being. It's not a being from our planet, says Dr. Italo Venturelli, the neurosurgeon who was bedside with the entity at the Regional Hospital in Varginha. We are talking about something that changes the concept of humanity. It's important for people to know. In 1996, in Varginha, Brazil, numerous witnesses reported a cigar-shaped object in distress, which ultimately crashed in a field outside the city. Several days later, on January the 20th, 3 girls, aged 14, 16, and 22, came within a few steps of an otherworldly creature cowering in broad daylight against a wall in a vacant lot. Over time, it was revealed that the Brazilian Fire Department and military police captured 2 non-human beings on the same day. According to multiple Brazilian government officials, the crash debris and non-human beings, likely one still living, were flown out of Brazil within days by the US Air Force and presumably remain in the possession of a secret US classified research program. Quote, "This is the most compelling modern-day UFO crash retrieval case involving live non-human beings and reportedly the American Air Force in history," says unquote, says investigator and filmmaker James Fox, who's organizing the press conference. Quote, "This case could ultimately settle the debate by proving we're not alone," unquote. Also attending will be Dr. Armando Fortunato, the forensic pathologist who conducted an autopsy on the body of a young military police officer. That's Marco Chiresi, his name is, who died rapidly from unprecedented massive infection after he was inadvertently scratched by the being he captured. The full autopsy report will be provided. All right. I'd like to add at this point that it was classified originally, and they had to go. The family had to go through court to get the body exhumed and re-examined. No, that's another case. I think they cremated him. I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. The case was confirmed to Fox and his producers by the four-star Brazilian Air Force General Jose Carlos Pereira and Pedro Luis Aguiar, the chief of police at the time of the incident, who appears in the moment of contact. Aguiar does. Fox, the director of the phenomenon and the program, and his team, have been investigating Varginha for almost 3 decades, collecting interviews from dozens of first-hand witnesses to various aspects of the case. Fox's new documentary about the incident, Moment of Contact, New Revelations of Alien Encounters, was released globally in early January 2026. Following the highly acclaimed documentary The Age of Disclosure, this press conference will now present new data and first-hand information about multiple encounters with live non-human intelligent beings. Quote, "The public has a right to the truth," unquote, Fox said. "My hope is to motivate people to demand more information and to encourage mainstream dialogue and trigger a congressional investigation." Part 2, America. Beginning in 2023, numerous intelligence insiders have come forward, often under oath, to report on ultra-secret special access programs engaged in the recovery and analysis of both crashed vehicles and biologics, in capital letters, defined in this context as biological specimens or bodies of non-human origin. There is no risk to national security from the release of evidence of biological specimens, as there may be with exposing technology from crashed vehicles. I don't know about that. This historic press conference will address the issue of non-human biologics as never has been done before. The call as an independent effort, the American speakers at the press conference will be calling upon the executive branch to relax certain security clearance obligations so that the insiders who are part of America's UAP legacy program can share classified information with Congress and eventually speak more openly to the public. Furthermore, they will be emphasizing the need to increase information sharing efforts between nations regarding UAP crashes and related biologics recovery. Panelists from Brazil. Senator Eduardo Girau has been a member of the Brazilian Federal Senate since February 2019. He represents the coastal state of Ceará, the 8th largest Brazilian state by population, with a capital, Fortaleza, that is Brazil's 4th most populous city. He's an advocate for greater transparency on UAP. In order to bring the issue to the attention of the Brazilian Congress, he led a discussion on UAP in a special Senate hearing in 2022. I should point out, I hope these people have like a translator, audio translator, because if it's just subtitles, it won't be much fun. Most Brazilians can't speak English. Dr. Italo Venturelli has been a physician specializing in neurology and neurosurgery, working in both clinical care and specialized procedures for many decades. From 1998 to 2002, he was the director of finance for the Department of Neurology and Neurosurgery at the Hospital Regional in Sul de Minas, Hospital Bom Pastor, and the Hospital Humanitas, the 3 largest medical facilities in Varginha, 2 of which the alien was kept at. Currently, he's the leading neurosurgeon at Regional Hospital, maintains a private practice and is involved in healthcare management activities through his medical services company. Dr. Venturelli has been highly respected throughout his long career for his technical rigor, medical ethics, and responsibility in managing complex cases. He has made significant contributions to the advancement of neurology and neurosurgery in the region. Dr. Armando Fortunato is a physician working primarily in forensic medicine. As one of the leading experts in that field, he has served as a forensic pathologist and criminal medical examiner for the Minas Gerais Civil Police for more than 3 decades, conducting numerous autopsies of significant regional relevance. Dr. Fortunato also has a law degree and served as a court-appointed medical expert in several judicial districts. Devoted to public service, he was elected city councilman in Varginha for 2 terms and served as president of the Medical Association and municipal secretary of Health of Varginha. Dr. Fortunato was awarded title of honorary citizen of Varginha in 2023. I should point out, come back to this later, but Timothy Good actually interviewed, I think it was Dr. Venturelli, many years before Fox did. But it's still, I mean, he couldn't persuade him to go public. Fox has. New witness Carlos de Souza, witness to the crash, is a former businessman and currently a geography teacher at the Jorge Dupra Figueiredo School, where he's worked for over 2 decades. He has taught at the University of Sao Paulo. Mr. de Souza is a microlight pilot, which he has enjoyed for many decades. Oh, I know this. He's the guy who saw the craft come down, yeah. Additional short video statements to include from 4 first-hand witnesses who were denied visas to attend the press conference. With this press conference, witnesses who spent time in the presence of non-human beings. These interviews were recorded in late December, specifically for this event. These video statements include transcripts will be provided to the media at the press conference. Panelists will make a short statements and allowing an hour for Q&A. National Press Building, Washington, D.C. Paradigm Research Group, Inc. All right, yeah. Now, I should point out that the fact that these people were denied visas, some of the witnesses couldn't get into the United States. They weren't allowed into the United States. Now, you got to ask yourself why that is, because they're all above board. I mean, they went through the normal channels, which you have to do when you travel to a country, like make sure your passport is in order, make sure you got all the paperwork you need. I had to do this when I went to the US. Just make sure you, yeah. And apparently it's the girls, yes, or women now. Of course, they're now sort of middle aged now. That is Katia, Valquera, and what's the other one called? Lilian, Katia, and Valquera. They were apparently not allowed to attend. Military X, is another one apparently who couldn't get into the country, and his real name is not known. But yeah. Another blonde says, "What's this? USA claiming down on aliens of all kins." Claiming down on aliens of all kins. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, Tina. In short text says Trump has banned Brazilians. Commies, not alien witnesses. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, really, it's suspicious, the fact that because apparently they went through the usual channels to apply for visas to visit the US. Everything seemed okay, and then these were turned down at the last minute. Clamping. Is clamping down on aliens of all kins? Is that what you meant? Another blonde. Yeah. Yes. Oh, autocorrect. Oh, I hate that. Yeah. I think they are actually. Whether they're human aliens or alien aliens. So I wonder what the ICE agents would do if they were faced with the Varginha incident. Hello, huge arsehole. How are you, Ben? Where you been? I don't get notifications for you anymore. It's bad actually. A lot of people don't, Hugh, and this is not my fault. This is YouTube. I forgot to send the link to Sweeps Fox last night, so I just sent it to him now. I don't know if he's got it. But several people. I mean, I will. If you send me an email, I'll try to put it on a list, and I'll send you notification myself. Arch channel. What planet do you think they come from? I don't know. Clearly, they are able to breathe our air, although they have strange elements about them. Obviously, they have this kind of greasy skin, and they smell strongly of ammonia. So it's difficult to know exactly where they do come from. I mean, We may find. I mean, maybe no one knows. I suppose they'd have to tell you. All right. So it's now. Oh, let's go to. What I'm going to do is I'll put this here so that you can see it, and I've got to do this first. Hello, Teddy Bear Liam. How do you do? Well, this is how I'll do things. I'll use this I'll use this screen share so you see most of it, and I'll do that. And it's going to go live soon. I'll also have a notepad open over here so I can make notes. And I will be hopefully able to speak. I am sharing audio, so you should be able to see it. And when it actually starts, you can just see me peeking out there. It doesn't really matter. I've got the bloody crappy potato cam anyway. But this is the best way to do things. And I'll also be able to see. I'll be also able to see you guys in the. I'll be able to see your chats as well. I mean, I need to get one of those things where the chats are like. It's superimposed over the screen, over the monitor, don't I? The monitor display. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I think you can't do that with a free StreamYard account. And I'm not paying for StreamYard, not with their bloody, not the fact they keep putting their they're ridiculous. They putting their stuff up and then putting their prices up, and then withdrawing services. Juliana, hello Juliana, how do you do? Juliana says, has it already started or is it finished? I'm from Brazil. Oh, welcome. Great to have a Brazilian here. It's not started yet. It's apparently starting, as you can see here, in about 3 minutes. If it starts on time. I mean, these congressional hearings don't, but yeah, hopefully it will. Oh, Sweeps, he's made it. He's made it. Oh my God, this early live stream caught off guard. Shuffling schedule around the Brazilian UFO security guy was killed after he disclosed a lot of the case. Was he? Was someone killed? I guess we'll hear about that, Sweeps. Yeah, I sent you the. I don't know if you got a notification or not. I emailed you just about half an hour ago when I got home from work. I forgot to do it last night. I was just knackered. But let's see if I can make this a bit bigger. There we go. No, I don't want the. We don't need the side chat on. But yeah, welcome, Sweeps. Welcome. I'm glad you made it, mate. I know you don't always get the bloody notifications, do you? Huge arsehole didn't get a notification either. They're not sending them to him. Hello, Gary Robinson. Welcome. I'll just. You can apparently. I won't actually click enlarge because you can see everyone watching now should be able to see the comments as well. What I'll do is I'll just put it on my phone just to see if it's visible. Oh, hang on. I'm just letting people know them on the phone. Here we go. All right. Hopefully people should be able to see my comments here. There we go. But anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's working. Hopefully people should be able to see my comments. Yeah, that's it. See, that's what you're seeing right now, which is good. Okay. Here we go. Where are we? Is it starting yet? Should be starting in a minute. Anyway, one minute to go. Hello to we've got Professor Unwinmost. Happily good tile in the early moorload. It's 11 a.m. over there, mate. Yes, it's 11 in the moorload. We're talking about what's Unwin needs for Varginha. I don't know. Oh, sorry, I've got to do this, haven't I? I forgot to put it on screen share again. There we go, my friend. There we go. And we've got a Brazilian lady here, so welcome. Great to have someone from the country. Thanks for choosing to watch Japanmo TV. And someone was saying something about what was it? 3i Atlas. Oh, Tina, another blonde was saying some 3i Atlas experts have said Sirius is as close as it gets. Mythology says that when Sirius aliens step off to Earth. Well, do you remember the Nomo? I think you're familiar with this, aren't you? Another blonde, because we talked about this. Yeah, it's going to start. This is. It's going to start in a minute. Refresh that live. Okay, here we go. It's actually Martin. I'm using Martin Willis's channel here, and the only reason I'm on Martin Willis's channel is because it's the one recommended by Danny Sheehan. It's the link he sent. So I'm assuming he's okay for me to. He says this is the good one to watch. I mean, presumably, I don't know if Martin actually has ads, if he's infested with ads all the time. But yeah, the Nomo with the creatures, the Dogon, said come from Sirius B. This is an African tribe. that had no telescopes. They were essentially Stone Age people, but they were visited by these creatures that they describe as being like fish in their mythology, and they had open contact with these beings, and it's very, very interesting. Another blonde knows all about it. So I have refreshed it, but now the reason, as I said, the reason I'm choosing Martin Willis is because this is just Danny Sheehan said click here and watch it here. That's all he said. So I'm using this one, but this is also being broadcast on News Nation, and I think a lot of other people, a lot of UFO YouTubers are doing what I'm doing, and they're streaming it live. Excuse me. Oh, it's Ginny. Oh, right. A professor says here that the word I'm looking for, Varginha in Unwanese, is Ginny vagiloda. Right. I remember that. Vagiloda. Ginny vagiloda. That sounds like something you get in a chemist shop. But yeah, okay. Okay, so come on in, guys. It was running a bit late. Let's keep refreshing. But, oh, is it? No, it's still. It should start automatically. It'll start automatically, I think. But anyway, this is it's going to be. It's the same place where we had the citizen hearing in 2013, and old muscly balls, had his old Dr. Testosterone face had his own hearing in 2001. That was a bit of a breakthrough, wasn't it? David says News Nation is a brilliant alternative to the mainstream media while retaining the professional production standards of the MSM. Yeah, I like News Nation. They're kind of the American equivalent of GB News, I'd say. They're one of these like three-digit news channels, but they cover subjects that the others won't, and more realistically and more honestly. And they as you say, they have that sort of studio quality, which you'd expect. Come on, guys. Come on, let's get this show on the road. We want to hear about the aliens. I can see a bit of the chat. There's some Brazilians there. We got a Brazilian lady here, which I'm very grateful for. Here we go. So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, hopefully there's a lot of. Let's just see if I can make this as big as possible. There we go. Yep, that's just slightly smaller. There we are. There we are. I think that's the best. That's ideal. Sweeps says, did you mention the Brazilian soldier who died after touching the ET in the vehicle? Yes, that was in the press release, Sweeps, and they're going to discuss it, I'm sure, here, because they've got the guy who did the post-mortem on him, the autopsy, the pathologist. It's Marco Ceresi, he was. He was sent there because somebody called the police because they saw these creatures wandering around, and so he and his colleague were driving around looking for this thing, following this emergency call, and they found it. And they did. I mean, really, it's crazy when you think about it. He just got out of the car. I mean, you can be so brave, but then if you get too brave, you get reckless. And he got out of the car and he just picked it up and put it on his lap, and they took it to the hospital. And the other policeman was called Eric Lope or Eric Lepesh. I think it's Eric Lopes. There's different pronunciations for that. He was when James first went up to him with his team and the camera crew. He literally didn't actually level a gun at them, but he appeared at the window holding a pistol in his hand and saying, "You got to leave now." And of course, you don't argue with a guy if you're unarmed and a guy's got a weapon. You don't argue with someone like that, and they just left. But Eric Lope has now come forward. This was like Marco Ceresi's friend and colleague. In the local civil, the Policia Civil, whatever they call it, the civil police. So he was a colleague of Ceresi, and was in the police car with him when they picked this thing up. Art Channel says Brazilian women can be very nice. They do tend to be. I would say that about the three ladies actually, Liliane, Valkyria, and Katia. They are very attractive. Yeah. R.I.P. Marco Ceresi. Yes, David. Thanks very much. Yeah, he was only 21. He was 21, and he had and his sister his sister, funnily enough, looks very much like Brenda Butler for some reason. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, but his sister's trying to get justice for him. But he got married. He was planning to he wanted to be a dad and things like that. And he lost his life at the age of 21. It's very, for a young man in a healthy condition to die from some kind of infection is very rare. It has to be a very bad infection for you to die of that. If you're young and healthy like that, and young and fit, unless you have some, it scratched his armpit. Yeah, it appears there's some kind of toxin on this creature's skin, the greasy substance on its skin, and Marco was infected by it. Yeah, and the pathologist is going to tell you what happened here. We're 5 minutes late anyway. Come on, guys. David says he was scratched underneath his armpit, which became infected, and he died after 2 weeks of an unknown bacterial infection that was resistant to everything they medically threw at it. Yeah. Pie Pounder says, apparently since the Varginha incident, South American ladies can no longer... I'm not going to read that out, and you don't mean pubs. I can assure you that's not the case, Pie Pounder. It's what you're referring to is actually a style. It's a hairstyle. And when I'm saying hairstyle, I don't mean the hair on your head. I know what you're making a joke. I know you're making a joke. Yeah. Anyway, come on, guys. They was going to be a little bit late, but anyway, it's great you guys here. We've got 26 people watching. It's probably more than that. As I said, I believe that YouTube. I'm pretty certain. I mean, I know I've been shadow banned since the spring of 2018. My reach, my viewing figures have dropped by 2/3. Now how's that possible? I think people are making lots of jokes about Brazilian. What Brazilian actually means. It has several meanings. Yeah. It's something I would never do, put it that way. It sounds very painful. It involves wax and pulling out of hair, which is really painful. Shannon says, do you think these aliens will ever come back? Well, they did. I mean, they actually... You heard about, like, in the first moment of contact, in fact, it's in the second one as well, the people who live nearby said that a craft came down that was clearly searching for the ones that were lost. It was like a rescue mission. I think they are, yeah. I mean, will they ever come back? I mean, have these creatures been seen anywhere else? This is interesting because I've not actually heard... I mean, they did come back, but then I've not actually heard of the creatures like this appearing anywhere else. It's as if this particular species of creature was not actually meant to be. It was not like an away team. I mean, Stanton Friedman used to speculate a lot about this, and he said that these are just like the loadies. These are just like the guys who work in the cargo hold, and they accidentally got left on the planet. I mean, that of course is speculation, but it might be. You never know. It may be something like that. Richard, hello, Richard. He says here, hi, Ben and all. Hello, Richard. Welcome. In short text says they were cattle. Well, it's possible that they were something that wasn't meant to be. It's possible they were working with other species within their society and they weren't meant to be on there. Maybe they somehow, through some mistake, ended up on the actual planet. They were on the craft that's crashed, and that wasn't meant to be. I don't know. So in short text says cattle. Maybe. I mean, maybe they were some kind of it's like the way bees they keep these other insects. They keep aphids, these other insects, as kind of like pets or livestock. Red Ibex, has the broadcast been cancelled? I hope not. I mean, it's almost 10 minutes late now, but I mean, I hope not. I do hope not. I mean, we haven't heard anything. I mean, there's always the risk, of course, that... I'm trying to refresh again. Come on. There's always the risk that someone might decide it's not going to happen, and that they may be... what's that? Oh, hang on. Something's happening here. You should be able to hear this, guys. This is Podcast UFO. Martin Willis is channel. Like I said, this is the one recommended to by Danny Sheehan on his newsletter. Arch channel. What's your thought on Greenland? Is it UFO related? Oh my God! I'll make that. Put that in a note. Right. I'll just write this in a note. Okay. I know Christina Gomez. I'll keep some notes here running at the side because I don't want to interrupt too much. I will interject at certain points and over talk, but I don't want to say too much. I can't hear much. I mean, there's some sound, there's some noise in the background. I can't hear much. David, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 heads, right place, 2 eyes. Obviously, they're linked to Earth life. Either that or maybe some kind of parallel development, David. I mean, there's several theories about why they have a similar body design to ourselves. It may be that's how, if they live in a similar environment, a similar habitat, they will naturally evolve that way. There's actually forces of evolution that cause creatures to become that way. In the same way that the head of a kangaroo and a deer are identical, more or less. Even though they, of course, have a different evolutionary path. One's marsupial, the other's placental. 69 says, what are the comments saying? I'm not reading them, mate. I'm not reading them. I don't have time. But there's a lot in Portuguese, which indicates these are Brazilians tuning in. Well, David, right, I'll just write that down. I'll write that down, David. Pardon me. Oh, I just saw someone walk across in front of the camera. Oh, there's Leslie Kane. Did you see her? Did you see Leslie Kane? She's there. She just walked up, even though they've got this big test card in front of it. I saw her walk in front of the camera. I knew she'd be there, of course. Someone's saying I scrolled up, starting soon. All right, I'm just there. I can see some of the chats on Martin Willis's thing. Are you no divas fashionably late? That's what killed aliens, microbes. Well, that's funny enough, Art Channel. That's the kind of like Deus Ex Machina at the end of War of the Worlds, isn't it? And Shortset comes up with an interesting idea. They were a chimera gone wrong and dumped here deliberately. The US tracked them out from outer space and knew exactly where they were being dumped and when. That's interesting, isn't it? That they in SureTech that they do think that. They do seem to know in advance. We've seen this with Penta, whose 10th anniversary is coming up in a couple of weeks. Yes, I will be covering that. And of course, we see this with the other Welsh case, Berwyn Mountains, and several others. They don't know the exact spot, but they know more or less. You see the same thing with Kecksburg. It's like it's like they have the ability to track them from space, and they know more or less where they're going to be. Not the exact spot, but within maybe 100 miles or so. Martin just texted soon in the or whoever's like moderating his chat. Just put soon in the live chat on his channel. I mean, the idea of whether these were like genetically engineered or not. I mean, this goes into the idea that some people say the Greys are genetically engineered. I mean, there's lots of theories. There's lots of supposed witnesses who see things. Some of them are more credible than others. But yeah. I would have I think I would have just started. I should have started about 1:45, maybe. Arch Channel, do you think they have new footage of the aliens? Oh my God! Just imagine. They actually do show it. This maybe this is the big surprise. Maybe there's some kind of January surprise going on. Oh, here we go. David, I'll make a note of that.
Is that deep enough for everybody else?
Yeah, David, you shared with me your Chat GPT dialogue, which is very interesting.
Where were you on the side? That's good.
Yeah, I recognise that room. Look at it. I recognise it. There's Leslie. I recognise it from
You can't help
the citizen hearing. Hey, there's Whitley Strieber. Do you see him? Him there. There's Whitley Strieber. There's Leslie and Whitley Strieber.
We're getting close. Where's Lisa?
Lisa? Where's Lisa?
Yes. Can I hand this off to you?
Why is the National Press Club advert in the middle of the screen? I don't. That is actually, it's just something that Martin decided to put on there. It's just Sweeps asked me that. It's not on my screen. It's actually on theirs, but it's probably something Martin decided. David, that's all right. David, it was very interesting. I did give it a quick read. I'll read the rest of it later. Where's the beers? I haven't got any beer. Is Steve Bassett? I think you said Barrett. I think you mean Bassett. Is he there? Oh, he's got to be in SureTech. He's got to be there somewhere. I'm looking out for him. Steve Bassett would not miss this. He really wouldn't. And what's that? Someone said, did the aliens engineer Keir Starmer? Well, they did a terrible job if they did. He's obviously some kind of weapon that they put on. It must be the evil aliens. He's some kind of weapon they put on here. Sweep said, I interviewed AJ Javard. Oh, on a Brazilian UFO mag on my Irish radio show about this incident back in the day. Yeah, Sweeps, good old AJ, who sadly died a couple of years ago. I think he died last year, actually. Very sad. And he never got over his daughter's accident and where she was killed. She was killed at the age of 30 in an accident. And he never really got over that, poor fella. They're together again now. Who's there then? Can you see who's there? I'm trying to look for people I recognise. That's not Richard Doty, is it, on the front row? Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry, I thought it was Richard Doty. It's not. I wouldn't let him in. I would not let that guy in. He's trouble. He's trouble with a capital T. DJ Ukrainian rent boys, greys in disguise.
Yes, this one's
this is the panel. It's just like the citizen hearing, and indeed Greer's event. Is that James? That's not him, is it? Oh, it is. That's James.
Yes.
Standing at the back there. They haven't even got. They're not even organised yet, man. They're still kind of like bumbling around. Hugh, I've not seen the Ukrainian Rent Boy Star Trek video, but there's loads of great memes about. There's loads of brilliant memes about Starmer. Yeah. Oh, there's Venturelli. That's Dr. Venturelli. That's him. I say, I hope they have like audio translation and subtitles when he speaks, because he'll be speaking in his own language.
Here.
After Matthews.
So here. So Brazilian Senator.
The cam guy's a backpack bomb. I think that might be. He looks a bit familiar. That's not Dave Altman, is it? The camera guy. That's not Dave Altman. Surely not.
And a hush literally fell over the crowd.
Oh, I wish I could.
Hi, everyone. We are pulling ourselves together here. I think we're just threading up the laces at the last minute. I was told there was going to be about 10 people here. They lied.
Men in black are taking them.
I'm Karin. I'm going to host the event today and see. I can tell you, as someone who's an introvert by nature, it normally takes me a few minutes to warm up into speaking. So bear with me. I think at the moment, if we're ready to go, we're ready, machines. We started without him. Oh, no, you're there. All right. So first of all, welcome. Thank you. We know, first of all, yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
I am covering Varginha sweeps, but okay, I'll see you later. But this is what it's for, sweeps. But anyway, take care. Thanks for coming, sweeps. All the best.
Some people came a very long way to be with us today. Some people got on flights early this morning. Some people drove for many hours
Press
in cars.
Club is about Varginha. This
didn't get enough sleep last night or is jet lagged. Thank you for your sacrifices. We're very happy that you're here with us today. So my job right now is just like an airline flight attendant to tell you where the emergency exits are and how this is going to go. So the first thing is that we are going to read some written statements today. And I know cue collective eye roll, but we're just doing that to set the table. All right, so it'll take us about an hour to move through all of them. The good news is we all read pretty well, so it shouldn't be too torturous. And after the hour is over, we might run a little bit longer than that. We're going to take a 15-minute break, let everyone have a bio break or move around, move your body. Then we'll bring you back in for Q&A. Q&A will go for an hour as long as it needs to. And then we can be here together until 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So we don't have to feel anxious about the amount of time that we have. We can be chill about it, and we want everybody to have a chance to come up ultimately and meet the presenters here. So know that you'll have plenty of time to do that. What else am I going to say?
I
think I just did it all.
Okay, I'll stick with this
so
one
that
now,
was, we
David.
weren't quite sure when to do that. Rumor had it QR codes were on the wall, but they're, all right. And so the QR codes are for the videos. Is that right?
Download the materials.
All right. So she just said it. So we have QR codes on the wall if you want to download the videos. All right. We good? Everybody else okay? Yes, we're ready for this? All right. James, you ready?
You prefer my commentary to Ross Coulthard, I'm sure.
All right. So I'm Karin Austin. I'm the managing director at the John Mack Institute and the Center for the Impossible at Rice University. Together with founder Dr. Jeffrey Kreipel and Amanda Foki, out of special collections at the Woodson Research Center, we are spearheading a large-scale metadata research initiative to better understand the patterns of human experience related to the phenomenon. Today, though, I'm here in service to this.
Finally,
with all my heart and love and support. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you. So, with that said, to not bury the lead, this conference addresses the existence of non-human biologics.
Oh, thanks,
defined
David.
as biological specimens or bodies with technologically advanced non-human intelligence. The first-hand witnesses here with us today will describe their personal encounters with live, advanced non-human beings that were discovered in the immediate aftermath of a UFO crash outside Varginha, Brazil in 1996.
But I'm glad they got
what happened in Varginha is a part of a larger story, one that has accelerated dramatically here in the United States following the 2017 New York Times article that brought renewed attention to military encounters with unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP. Since then, Congress has held 4 open hearings on UAP, an unprecedented step, while the Department of Defense has released congressionally mandated reports from its UAP task force. Bipartisan legislation has established new oversight and reporting pathways, with additional measures still in development. Members of Congress are pressing for greater transparency and whistleblower protections, while highly credible intelligence and defense insiders, many testifying under oath, have reported on deeply classified programs tasked with the recovery of crashed UAP and the preservation of biologics held within ultra-secret legacy programs. In light of this momentum, the public's right to know becomes central. Evidence that we are not alone should not be classified. Confirmation of the existence of life beyond Earth, I think we all agree, belongs to every human being.
Yeah.
And with that, I'd like to introduce Kirk to help us understand, Kirk McConnell, to help us understand what's been happening behind the scenes to bring this ecosystem of secrecy under congressional oversight. We are honored to welcome Kirk McConnell.
This is the guy who was at Sol Foundation.
Hi, I served for 37 years on the staff of the Senate Armed Services Committee, the Senate Intelligence Committee, and the House Intelligence Committee, retiring from government service almost 2 years ago. I was among the staff from the Senate Armed Services Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee who collaboratively investigated the UAP issue on behalf of the senators from both parties and on both committees after the seminal articles from the New York Times in 2017 that Karen mentioned and that I'm sure all of you are aware of.
I don't know our channel.
As extraordinary as the claims sound of the witnesses that you will be hearing from today about a crash retrieval and the recovery of non-human beings from Varginha in 1996, behind the scenes, similar reports have reached senators and staff conducting the investigation that I referred to. Many of you in attendance today or tuning in to this event are familiar with the public statements of now Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio, who has been very outspoken on this matter. As Vice Chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, he clearly conveyed how seriously he takes these allegations. He and other senators held meetings and interviews in so-called sensitive compartmented intelligence facilities, SCIFs, over a period of years with very credible sources reporting both direct and secondhand knowledge of the reality of highly intelligent non-human beings. Government retrievals and reverse engineering of craft not made by human beings, and the recovery of bodies of non-human beings. These reports alleged hidden government activities like those you will hear about today, stretching across many decades. What these folks are going to tell you today in person and remotely are astounding, but they're not the only credible testimony about such events. Thank you.
Kirk is actually going to be back later to provide some closing remarks for us. I should also make a note.
Good point in SureTech. There is a screen, there's a projector screen that has been set up. What's that for? Yeah, maybe there's a video coming. So that's a very important point there in SureTech.
So just bear with us if that happens. And hopefully it will. Anyway, thank you, Kirk. We look forward to hearing your closing remarks. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jacques Vallée remotely. Unable to attend the event in person, he generously agreed to record a statement for us. Jacques is a renowned scientific investigator, a cultural icon in this field, and one of its most influential thinkers.
Oh, that's what it's for. I see. I can't hear him.
Of Mr. James Scott, because a few years ago I initiated the system of multiple databases used by a DIA sponsored project.
Oh, good, we got stuff.
I'll
read out. I don't know if you can hear it.
As a common member of
The scientific team charged with a study of UFOs. That's Bigelow Aerospace. UAP phenomena. The data warehouse system contained data about 260,000 screen reports of anomalous objects in flight and hundreds of reports of creatures alive or dead associated with crashed or landed vehicles of unknown provenance, including some similar to those in Varginha, thus providing useful multinational and historical context. My current research is taking us to deeper levels with new on-site analytical and physical research on historical cases, such as the 1945 case in San Antonio, New Mexico, and the 1964 case in Socorro, New Mexico. Oh, that's Lonnie Zamora, yeah. And also the 1965 case in Valençol in France. Oh, that's the lavender field one. And several others. New physical environmental data was collected. The observations involve a total of 7 creatures, generally similar in size. 7. And general body shape of those described by the witnesses in Varginha, Brazil, and Mr. Fox, providing both context and statistical support for current and future findings. In particular, all the creatures just mentioned breathed air normally. Yeah, and I noticed that. Beyond this, I currently serve in private capacity on the Scientific Advisory Board of the French government. All right. You know, Cometa, CNES, yeah. That unit has actively researched UFO problems since 1975, including national cases of close encounters with the presence of occupants, a number of which I've also studied on site. It should be clear, however, that I do not represent any of these. I'm glad to hear it, government organisations, in this or any other context. The Varginha incident of 1996 in Brazil, researched and documented by James Fox, fits within cases already known in scientific and medical records, many of which have remained classified, relaxing the classification requirements while preserving security. Can you read? Can you read this? I think probably this is visible, actually. I'm just going to make a note here because someone's mentioned the Bank of England lady. Just one sec. It was DJ B2, the Bank of England. Yeah, I've written an article. If you read her Panmo voice, DJ, you'll see I've just written an article about that. That's quite something. I think you could probably read this.
Better understanding of the global issues.
Oh, good. Thanks, David.
The current segmentation of the data hinders any
I can hear it better now, actually, because I've
into what
sort of
appears
used to his accent and the audio quality.
phenomenon empowered by advanced artificial intelligence. Open archives do exist to some extent, describing the physical and biological environment of the crafts and their occupants. Socorro and Valençol in particular, 2 unclassified cases officially deemed unidentified by multiple government agencies, have yielded evidence of traces, recovered materials, and environmental effects. But we know that much more is available. The Varginha case presents exceptional new knowledge beyond what was already known. It improves our information in 2 fundamental ways. First, in the ability to reconstruct what happened to the craft and its occupants from beginning to end. And second, in the professional description of the anatomical and behavioral features of the live creature recovered by authorities within a short time of
David,
the crash.
he's been doing this for so long, hasn't he?
By this achievement, James' long and perilous project has opened up an entirely new field of research.
Nice one. Yeah.
Thank you, Jacques. His perspective, of course, reminds us of the long arc of inquiry that has led us to this very moment. It's now my honor to introduce James Fox, the documentary filmmaker who spearheaded today's event. His work has consistently centered the human experience within some of the world's most provocative UAP cases. James, at 28 years old, completed and sold his first documentary on the UFO subject to Discovery Communications. Over the years, through films like Out of the Blue,
We know what they saw.
I Know What I Saw, The Phenomenon, The Program, and Moment of Contact, he has consistently centered the human experience with some of the world's most provocative cases. James' most recent work, Moment of Contact, New Revelations, returns to the 1996 Varginha, Brazil event. Often described as one of the most compelling crash retrieval cases involving multiple live non-human beings of advanced intelligence. For over 2 decades, he and his team have chased down the facts and witnesses to the incident. He's been deeply committed to documenting their accounts with respect and to preserve their voices for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, James Fox.
Yay! He's the man himself. He'll set all this up.
Thank you, Florence. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And it was a colossal undertaking to get these gentlemen from Brazil here. If I say I had to walk on water and move mountains, that would be a huge understatement.
They couldn't get
So
everyone.
thank you, everyone, for being here and for all your efforts. Just informed that Congressman Burleson has just arrived. I don't know how long he's going to stay with us, but I'm hoping there he is.
Oh, man,
Welcome,
you've got to get
Congressman.
Burleson on.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We also have a sitting member of the Senate, Senator Gerald from Brazil, who's standing here. Can you stand up, please?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's there? Yeah.
Hello, Linton.
So we will
Ricketts.
be introducing Congressman Burleson. Would you like to give a quick statement now, or would you like to wait till a little bit later? Come on up, please. I'll finish mine
Hello,
afterwards.
Linton.
Excellent.
Thank you for all your work.
Thank you so much, Congressman.
It's Burleson, yeah.
So my work has taken me around the world investigating some extraordinary allegations of UFO encounters, now referred to as UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena. But what brings us here together today is what I consider, and many others, the most compelling case in modern history. In January 1996, in Varginha, Brazil, numerous witnesses reported a cigar-shaped object in distress, which ultimately crashed in a field, Maiolini Farm, just outside the city of Varginha, Brazil. Several days later, on January 20th, 3 girls outside the city, ages 14, 16, and 21, came within a few steps of an otherworldly creature cowering in broad daylight against a wall in a vacant lot. Over time, it was revealed that the Brazilian Fire Department and military police captured 2 non-human beings on that same day. According to multiple Brazilian government officials, the crash debris and non-human beings, likely one still living, were flown out of Brazil within days by U.S. Air Force and presumably remain in the possession of a secret U.S. government classified research program. More and more witnesses are coming forward because courage is infectious and there's strength in numbers. This investigation is far from over. We are encouraging a coalition between officials from the U.S. and Brazil to acquire additional records, including potential video and photographic evidence of this case. I believe in this case because this could settle the debate once and for all that we're not alone. I'm very grateful to our Brazilian witnesses taking the time to come all this way to be here with us today.
A big one,
As I
yeah.
said earlier, we had to move mountains and walk on water. The Brazilian statements will be translated by Lini Class, who's right
Thanks,
here
Arts Channel.
across, and co-produced a new kind of Moment of Contact and was instrumental in making this conference happen. Thank you, Lini. I'm going to mention Carlos de Souza, who's here as well, was initial crash witness. We took years to track him down. Yeah. He gave one brief statement in 1996 to a researcher named Claudio Covo, and then he vanished for the better part of 26 years. And I remember we were going to include a segment in the phenomenon, a film I did. And at the end of the day, we were like, we got to find more witnesses we scrapped the whole idea and ended up making a movie. But we found him, and a year or two later, we got him to come forward and share his story. One of the earliest civilian witnesses to the events surrounding the Varginha crash. He's a former businessman, a longtime geography teacher, and an experienced ultralight pilot. Carlos made one public statement, as I said earlier, and then he vanished. So we're very grateful to have Carlos here with us today. Carlos, please.
Hey. This is the guy who saw the craft come down in the field.
Bom dia, senhoras e senhores. Grande prazer estar falando hoje com vocês.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to speak with you today.
Me perdoe pouco o nervosismo que filme passa na minha cabeça nesse instante.
That's good.
Forgive me, I'm a bit nervous. This movie, everything just plays in my head all the time.
Eu testemunhei a queda de uma nave não terrestre no ano de 1996, no dia 13 de janeiro.
I witnessed the crash of a non-terrestrial craft on January 13, 1996.
Eu viajava de São Paulo para a cidade de Três Corações. E durante esse percurso, eu parei rapidamente no acostamento e, nesse momento, ela rodovia Fernão Dias, no caso, e porque eu iria a um encontro de pilotos de ultraleve. Eu era recém-formado como piloto, então eu ia encontrar os amigos.
I was en route from São Paulo to the city of Três Corações via Fernão Dias Highway in Minas Gerais for an ultralight pilot gathering.
Ao fazer uma breve parada, eu avistei um objeto que, para mim, naquele momento, está em formato de charuto, não era nada terrestre, era simplesmente um dirigível, pois na época... sorry. Em formato de charuto, tá? E eu observei que ele estava em apuros.
When I made a brief stop near Varginha, I looked skyward. I spotted a cigar-shaped object which seemed distressed. Initially, I assumed it was a blimp, common at the time over soccer fields for broadcasts. It released white smoke while losing altitude.
Inicialmente, como eu já havia falado, eu pensei que fosse um dirigível. Tá? Na época era muito comum sobre os campos de futebol no Brasil, para fazer as transmissões das partidas. Só que ele saía dele uma fumaça muito branca. E ao ele fazer uma pequena curva, eu observei que na sua lateral ele tinha um rasgo da metade para trás. E ele estava rapidamente perdendo altitude.
It released white smoke while losing altitude. It made a slight turn that revealed a lateral tear from the middle to the back. It was clearly having problems.
Logo pensei, como piloto, que os ocupantes estariam em graves problemas, porque só quem é piloto sabe o desespero que dá você estar numa nave com problemas ou numa aeronave com problemas. Entrei no meu veículo rapidamente e comecei a acompanhá-lo através do para-brisa até o seu local da sua queda. Na esperança, na verdade, de ajudar quem estava lá dentro.
Only a pilot would know the difficulty of seeing a craft in trouble. So I quickly realized that the occupants could be in deep trouble. I got in my car and followed its trajectory towards the crash site, hoping to be able to help.
Ao chegar no local da queda, eu estranhei de início, porque o esperado era um cheiro de combustível pelo querosene, mas havia um cheiro de amônia e ovo podre, muito diferente, que ardia muito meus olhos, queimava meus olhos. Então eu subi a camisa para poder respirar, não conseguia. Metade da nave, desse objeto, tá, que no caso para mim ainda era inelegível, estava encostado numa árvore. E a outra metade traseira eram vários destroços.
When I got there, I smelled a foul odor, like ammonia with rotten eggs, burning my eyes. Half the craft remained intact by a tree, and the debris of the back part was scattered everywhere.
Drowsy.
Nesse momento, rapidamente, chegou vários veículos militares.
Multiple army vehicles arrived promptly.
Nesse momento,
I'd rather been in Varginha to Colares. Yeah, Colares was much worse.
destroços.
Colares, I'll go into that, but Brazil seems to get all the nasty ones for some reason.
E esses fragmentos, tá, eu levei baixei,
Why does Brazil get all the nasty ones? But Colares was much worse, yeah.
não tinha peso nenhum, parecia papel alumínio.
Hello,
Aquelas
Contact
folhas,
Times.
papel bem fininhas. E amassei ele. Ao soltá-lo, que eu tomei um susto gigantesco, ele voltou ao formato normal. Meu Deus, o que é isso?
At that point, I was in the middle of the wreckage, and I picked up a lightweight
green
fragment resembling aluminum foil. I crumpled it in my hand, but when I let go, it instantly resumed its shape.
Nesse exato momento, soldado do exército, da ESA, mais
Jesse
preciso,
Martel Jr.
do
said that.
Brasil, veio em minha direção com um rifle, tá, e começou a gritar: vai embora, vai embora. E no que ele deu impacto, tirou de mim esse fragmento, ok?
All right, David.
E eu respondi para ele: não, eu não vou. Tem gente caída lá, machucada. Para mim, até aquele momento, não fazia sentido nada. Para mim era, ele vai embora, vai embora. Eu falei: não vou. Ele deu um passo para trás, levantou a arma, e ele apontou para minha cabeça. Eu não estou pedindo, eu estou mandando, eu vou abrir a tua cabeça no meio se você não for embora.
A soldier approached fast and hit him in the chest with his rifle, so he was forced to drop the metal I was holding. He shouted, "Leave now." I replied, "No, people in there need help." He aimed his gun at my head and said, "I am not requesting, it is an order. Leave now or I'll split your skull."
He's threatened.
Virei imediatamente.
Pie Pounder, no, they didn't charge the entrance fee. It was completely free to get in, but there was limited places. This is in the Grand Ballroom, which is where they had the last two hearings.
I turned and departed immediately. I was very scared and confused.
Saí do local imediatamente, que não tinha o que fazer, com medo, eu não entendia nada, e caminhei até um posto de gasolina, porque eu falei: vou tomar um café e me acalmar. Todo aquele negócio era demais na minha cabeça. Sorry. Desculpe.
Professor Anonymous, the mumbling doze will follow up this absolute rubbish. Oh, we'll love it.
Me recompor, foi ao posto tomar um café para me recompor.
German sources sit on the transistor stands in one part of Brazil. Says Contact Times. All right.
Opala, na época, azul escuro, quase preto, com dois homens bem vestidos, elegantes, ternos pretos, óculos escuros, desceram e vieram ao meu encontro. Ok.
I left the area and stopped at the first gas station to compose myself. A few minutes later, a very dark blue, near black vehicle pulled up. Two suited men got out and approached me.
Ok. Deles veio em minha direção, tá, e me chamou pelo meu nome. Falou o nome da minha esposa, o nome do negócio, para mim, apontando o dedo para mim, e perguntou. Eu perguntei para ele, falando: o senhor era o Carlos Souza, o senhor era isso, e apontando ele para mim. Eu perguntei para ele: quem é você? Não te conheço.
Capacitor, right?
Ele respondeu frio e simplesmente: você não viu nada, você não sabe de nada, ou você terá sérios problemas o resto da sua vida. Entendeu?
One of these men approached him and called him by name, stating his address, naming wife and business, and he asked, "Who are you?" And this man threatened, "You saw nothing, you know nothing, or you will have problems for the rest of your life."
Oh man, they threatened him. That fits.
Partiram rapidamente. Nesse momento, eu peguei um papel, guardar para limpar a boca, com uma caneta, para anotar a placa do veículo. Porque, para mim, quem eram aquelas pessoas para falarem aquilo? Só que, ao chegar na porta do estabelecimento que estava tomando café, quem falou que eu estava aqui fora? Não havia placa do veículo. Eles simplesmente partiram.
They departed swiftly. I grabbed a napkin to write down the license plate, but there wasn't one.
Imploro
No
a todos os presentes aqui.
Unmarked car.
Sorry.
Oh man, he's still scared, Paul.
30 anos. Espiritualizado. Julgado pela sociedade. Sorry. Não nos abandone.
Oh, poor fella.
Novamente. Permitam que a verdade venha à tona. Tenham coragem de falar a verdade para nós. Eu não sou louco. Ninguém é louco aqui. Tenho família, com qualquer um. Por favor, falem a verdade. Aquele que sabe, as autoridades. Só peço isso. Obrigado.
I implore the authorities and people present, after 30 years of ridicule and suicidal judgment, do not abandon us again. Allow the truth to emerge. Summon the courage to disclose it. Thank you very much.
Poor fella. Well done, mate. It's still, see, after all these years, it can still affect you. And he's getting a standing ovation. They put him through the grinder, I'll bet. They threatened him. I mean, he said they pointed weapons at him. They threatened him. What's this? That's not normal police tactics.
I want to say that we tracked him down, specifically my team, Marco Leal in Brazil, and begged and pleaded with him to come forward after silence of 26 years. He's never asked for a dime. He's not trying to sell anything. Like, wow. Thank you, Carlos.
I nothing as it seems. I'll mention. I'll put in the notes.
We have colossal effort to get 6 additional firsthand witnesses here. In fact, we hired an immigration lawyer. We reached out to Congressman Burlington's office. He was very happy to help implement getting their visas approved. He was working diligently, his office. He put it on one of his best people. And unfortunately, 6 visas were denied.
Why?
So
yeah, why?
we rushed back just a couple of weeks ago. Alini and myself, covert mission, went back to Brazil with the help of the local government and got access to an official building with a podium and flags. And we recorded statements from all those that had their visas denied. So that's the story behind why we're presenting it. They wanted to be here in person. They tried everything to be here in person. We worked on it for the better part of 9 months. And again, I'll remind you, the QR code allows you to download, free of access, use it anywhere you want, right there by the doors. There's another one by those doors. It'll give you full access to all the videos you're about to see. And I ask you to please spread them far and wide. They're all yours. They're everybody's. So we're going to, without further ado, we're going to show you 6 additional statements from firsthand witnesses right now that were unable to be here. Thank you.
No. Why were they denied visas? I mean, it's
Eu
ridiculous.
juro que o que eu vou dizer é simplesmente verdade, nada mais que a verdade. Meu nome é Fábio Furtado. E em janeiro de 1996, eu e meu amigo que estávamos na fazenda, que trabalhávamos em Três Corações, vimos um objeto voador não identificado. Um objeto que não era normal, uma coisa que a gente nunca tinha visto. Ele fez movimentos sem nenhum tipo de curva, subiu e desceu, fez um Z no ar e desceu atrás do morro, na frente da nossa
Fouquet would help, wouldn't it?
nós
Yeah.
morávamos e trabalhávamos em 96. O objeto ele era cilíndrico,
Shouldn't
era
Trump ban
tamanho
them
mais ou menos do micro-ônibus,
specifically?
e o movimento que ele fez no ar, eu nunca vi se repetir isso, nem nos dias atuais, nas aeronaves mais tecnológicas que nós temos hoje. Aquele objeto fez um pouso, e no dia seguinte, eu fui lá para conferir, e vi um amarelado no chão. Ali eu tive aquela certeza, percepção, que aquele objeto não era desse mundo.
Eu juro para você aqui agora,
That's one of
é
the
verdade, somente a verdade. Meu nome é Liliane Silva, tenho 46 anos, sou professora na educação infantil. No sábado 20 de janeiro de 1996, há mais ou menos 3
sticks by her story
eu
today.
a Kátia.
Why was she denied a visa?
Observei no muro uma pichação, onde embaixo dessa pichação de uma trave de futebol, eu avistei uma criatura, estatura baixa, com os olhos vermelhos,
You know
a
this
pele
story.
marrom, como se tivesse
You know this story, but I mean, you know, she doesn't have a narcotics conviction or something. Why was she denied a visa? I mean, it's not that difficult to get just a tourist visa for the US. I got like the visa waiver thing. It's very easy. And unless you have like a crime of malfeasance conviction, they've got no reason to turn you down. So why? They didn't want these people at the authorities. You know this story about this. That's Liliane. And I mean, again, how many? She was 16 years old, right? How many pranks did you play as a teenager that you still maintain today were real after 30 years?
E comecei a correr na frente delas, né? Me senti na minha casa. As meninas olharam para ela e teve a mesma impressão, cada um com uma coisa, mas assim, apavoradas, saem correndo no sentido da minha casa.
Juro dizer a verdade, nada além da verdade. Sou Cátia Xavier, uma das 3 testemunhas do caso Varginha. Eu estive a 2 metros de uma criatura. Foi dia 20 de janeiro de 1996. Eu, Liliane e Valkyrie estávamos juntos.
She was like walking slightly ahead of them, I remember. And then
com uma coisa muito estranha, um extraterrestre. E assim, ele me passou muito medo. Ele era marrom, dos olhos vermelhos, com a pele oleosa, uma cabeça grande, com 3 dedos na mão, um pé grande. E aquilo.
Professor, that's what I did. I mean, they say you can apply for an ESTA, which is a visa waiver, at least from my country, and in order to be turned down, you have to have a conviction or be currently being prosecuted for what they call a crime of malfeasance. And it gives a list of things, which includes things like narcotics, violence, etc. Otherwise, they've got no reason to turn you down for the ESTA, and the ESTA lasts for 2 years. And I can't imagine Brazil. It's that different. Even if you don't qualify for the ESTA, you can get a different kind of visa to visit the United States. Yeah. All right. Someone's mentioned. I'll come back to that. Nothing. It seems about the magnetic anomaly because it's near Varginha. Yeah. The Varginha. It's actually near there. Yeah. Someone else actually said something interesting too. But yeah, the South Atlantic magnetic anomaly is near where this happened, and I don't know if that's actually
Da minha verdade.
Connected.
Em janeiro faz 30 anos a história. E eu nunca mudei nenhuma sílaba e nunca vou mudar, porque essa é a minha verdade.
Well done, Katia.
Eu juro que o que eu vou contar agora é verdade, nada mais que a verdade. Me chamo Valkyria, sou uma das testemunhas do dia 20 de janeiro de 1996, onde estava eu, minha irmã Liliane e a nossa amiga Kátia, quando estávamos indo embora do trabalho e avistamos uma criatura. Uma criatura diferente, que nós não sabemos o que era, mas era assustadora. Quando eu olhei para os olhos dela, eu senti que ela estava com muito medo. Da mesma forma que a gente ficou assustada, ela também ficou apavorada, porque ela passou no olhar pra gente. E marrom, de olhos vermelhos, tinha brilho no corpo, como se tivesse passado óleo. E aquele dia marcou a nossa vida para sempre.
Eu juro falar a verdade,
Oh, that's it,
nada
Mum.
mais do que
Yeah.
a verdade.
Let's catch his
Meu
mum.
nome é Luísa Helena da Silva.
Brave lady.
Sou mãe das duas meninas que viu o ser. Depois de meia hora que eu fui até no local, a Cátia chorando muito, e eu cheguei até lá, vi a pegada. Tinha grama e a pegada dos dedos dele. Assim, só 3 dedos, muito comprido, assim.
With the footprint, yeah.
E só a única coisa que eu consegui, já
It's been
tinha
raining really
sumido
hard.
ali. É o cheiro daquele lugar que ficou muito e muito tempo, uns 20, 25 dias no máximo, se eu não me
David, that's
esqueço,
right, yeah.
no meu nariz. Então, depois...
We're going to hear from that guy soon, talking about it, like Rose West. She looks like her, but she actually went there deliberately to take on this creature. You know, no demon is going to mess with my girls, that kind of thing.
Era 4 homens vestidos de preto.
She was threatened
e eles
too.
foi só entrando e foi fazendo uma proposta para mim. Se eu aceitasse aquele dinheiro, abriu a mala na minha frente, disse que a gente ia ficar milionário pro resto da vida. Um dinheiro esquisito, eu nunca tinha visto na minha vida. Era uma maleta assim, nessa altura, e nem abri, que abriu, os outros só olhavam. Eu tenho a impressão que eles não falavam a nossa língua, só um que falava. E falou que era muito dinheiro, que a gente ia ficar rica, que eu tinha que ir embora daqui. Mas eles queriam que eu ia se eu aceitasse, que era para mim ir numa emissora, numa TV, reunir as meninas, e mentira. Que, por exemplo, um exemplo que ele deu, que as meninas viam um bezerro, um cachorro doente, um ser humano doente. Eu fiquei muito assustada com isso, achei que isso não era digno.
Well done, lady.
E aí pedi para eles ir embora dali.
Well done.
Fiquei com muito medo deles, sim. Então, eu acho que eu não poderia mentir uma coisa desse jeito se eu não cheguei a ver. Agora, mentir que as meninas não viram nada, isso aí também já é demais. É só isso que eu
It is
tenho que falar.
signs, yeah, David. Yeah, David compares it to the work. Well done, lady. David compares it to the
juro que o que eu vou dizer é a acepção mais correta da presidente.
Oh, nice one, Hugh.
Meu nome é Miguel Nadeia, eu sou jornalista, sou diretor da TV Princesa, onde já trabalho desde aquela época. Em janeiro de 1996, no dia 20, eu estava trabalhando e logo que saí, fiquei sabendo do avistamento na cidade. Eu fui averiguar esse avistamento, fui impedido pelos soldados da ESA, né, que não deixaram que eu subisse até o local, porque por ser da cidade, eu sei onde as coisas acontecem. Eu queria ver. Parei o carro, desci, queria ir a pé, disseram que eu não poderia passar. Eu questionei por quê? Assunto de segurança nacional. Oh, mas é a minha liberdade de ir e vir. Vocês têm que ficar. Pois bem, isso aconteceu. Depois, no domingo, tiveram pessoas que fizeram avistamento. Eu estive no hospital regional, porque fiquei sabendo que lá havia uma movimentação. Vi os médicos em polvorosa, mas não soube o quê. E o mais importante que eu esqueci de dizer, naquele momento em que eu estava próximo ao local dos fatos, eu ouvia barulho de gente na mata, como se estivesse correndo, e 2 frases me marcaram. Cerca, cerca. O outro respondia, é liso, é liso. Essas coisas ficaram na minha mente por um bom tempo. Mandei 2 artistas para uma entrevista coletiva que teria na ESA para eles tentarem colocar panos quentes, dizer que, não, era apenas um exercício militar, era caminhão que estava arrumando, e eu destruí os meus recortes. Ela pergunta exatamente sobre isso, sobre o que aconteceu, mas seja incisivo. A resposta que eles tiveram foi: se vocês insistirem nesse assunto, vocês vão ser presos. Então, quer dizer, para mim, havia um processo de acobertamento e que, aliás, perdura até hoje, por enquanto. E muita gente, como eu, tem relatos iguais a esse, mas que ainda hoje tem medo de dar a cara de falar o que aconteceu.
Sou militar do Exército da época de 1996, onde ocorreu um fato. Eu de Varginha. Participei do transporte e também na visualização do ser extraterrestre, onde eu fiz o transporte, mas primeiramente, antes de transportar esse ser, eu entrei na porta, na segunda porta do hospital, onde eu avistei um ser, e posteriormente veio relatos de que era simplesmente um extraterrestre. Com isso, eu fiz o transporte dele de três corações para Campinas, onde deixei a viatura e outros militares assumiram. E, posteriormente, voltando, retornando para Três Corações, houve relatos que os americanos teriam já a posse de ser transportando ele para o local para uma autobus.
Eu juro falar a verdade, somente a verdade. Meu nome é Marta, sou irmã do militar Marta Lixerez, que em 96 veio a óbito.
She does look like Brenda Butler, doesn't she? Yeah. Oh, David, it's behind me in this. Do you see it? You can see the actual object behind me in my background.
Leva o caso para ser fantástico, e não é. É um caso muito sério. Realmente, meu irmão participou da captura do ET e veio a óbito. A causa indefinida, até hoje indefinida. Mas a gente vai esclarecer isso. Custe o que custar. Passe o tempo que passar, nada fica encoberto. Mas eu gostaria que as pessoas que soubessem um pouco mais, que viessem se pronunciassem, mas desde que dizendo a verdade. Eu perdi uma parte na qual não vou ser restaurada nunca mais. Eu queria que o governo, as autoridades falassem o que realmente aconteceu no dia, o porquê que se escondem, né? Eu sei que pode existir pessoas que não vão entender, mas eu acredito que muitas das pessoas, a maioria, irá entender esse caso sim. Estou aqui esperando uma resposta da sociedade, da população, quem sabe de algum militar que queira falar. Hoje eu aguardo.
There's Eric Lopes.
E vamos torcer para que as pessoas que venham até nós venham com contundência, venham com firmeza, com declaração explícita. Simplesmente, se por mais dura que seja a verdade, que ela seja dita.
Yeah, David, that's right. They wouldn't be bribed into silence by this guy. The guy was American. He could speak Portuguese, but he did it with an American accent. He was CIA. I bet you he was CIA.
Feels like we should just take a moment of silence. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think we can all hear and feel that everyone here and here is telling the truth to the best of their ability from their heart. As I regain my composure here, our next Brazilian witness brings an essential perspective to one of the most difficult and still unresolved aspects of the Varginha case, the sudden and tragic death of a healthy 23-year-old military police officer, Marco Cherez, who, with the help of fellow officer Eric Lopes, captured one of the live beings with his bare hands. Within weeks, he developed a severe bacterial infection that would ultimately prove fatal. Dr. Armando, the forensic specialist who conducted Cherez's autopsy, is a highly respected physician with a law degree who works primarily in forensic medicine. Over more than 3 decades with the Minas Gerais Civil Police, he served as a forensic pathologist, criminal medical examiner, and critical medical examiner. I'm seeing in some of my notes here that I finished at 3 a.m. The obvious results that I was finishing at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He also served as the president of the
Just the
Medical
channel members
Association
go to
and Municipal Secretary of Health in Virginia. He's here with us today to discuss his knowledge of the case. Dr. Armando.
Bom dia. Declaro que estou dizendo a verdade e que não tenho nenhum conflito de interesses pessoais ou de outra natureza.
Good day. I hereby state that I am telling the truth and that I have no conflict of interest, personal or otherwise.
Fui designado para realizar autópsia no corpo do soldado de 23 anos, Marco Eli Xerez, cuja morte inesperada levou o comandante da Polícia Militar de Minas Gerais a solicitar uma investigação por suspeita de erro profissional.
I was assigned to perform the autopsy on the body of the 23-year-old soldier, Marco Eli Xerez, whose unexpected death led the commander of the military police of the state of Minas Gerais to request an investigation on suspicion of professional error.
Causou estranheza que um jovem soldado saudável ter morrido em decorrência de um abscesso na região axilar esquerda.
It was considered unusual that a young, healthy soldier would die as a result of what appeared to be a simple abscess in the underarm area.
Realizei a autópsia e encaminhei fragmentos de órgãos e amostras de sangue ao meu colega, o renomado médico patologista, Dr. João Batista Macuco Janini, para avaliações laboratoriais e maiores esclarecimentos.
I sent organ fragments and blood samples to my colleague, the renowned pathologist, Dr. João Batista Janini, for laboratory assessment and further clarification.
Foi observada uma cicatriz recente na região axilar esquerda, decorrente de uma drenagem cirúrgica de uma lesão infecciosa.
A recent scar was observed in the left underarm region as a result from a surgical drainage of an infectious lesion.
That's how it got in.
O paciente faleceu poucos dias depois, apesar de ter sido avaliado e tratado por outros médicos, com doses elevadas de anti-inflamatórios e de antibióticos.
The patient died a few days later, despite having been evaluated and treated by other physicians with high doses of anti-inflammatory medications and antibiotics.
Como tratava-se de uma bactéria altamente virulenta e multiresistente, a infecção evoluiu rapidamente, espalhando-se pelo corpo, resultando em choque séptico e na morte do jovem soldado.
As the infection was caused by a highly virulent and multi-drug resistant bacterium, it progressed rapidly, spreading throughout the body and resulting in septic shock, eventually leading to the death of the young soldier.
Infelizmente, o médico patologista Dr. Janini não pôde participar desse nosso evento pela idade avançada, mas fez questão de elaborar uma declaração por escrito, que foi traduzida para o inglês, para ser apresentada a todos vocês, hoje, nesta data tão importante, nesta conferência.
Unfortunately, the pathologist, Dr. Janini, was unable to attend our event due to his advanced age, but he prepared a written statement that was carefully translated to present to you today.
Vou fazer a leitura.
We'll invite Mateus over to the stage to read the statement for you guys.
Oh, David, yeah, Congress have got some balls now, haven't they?
Most honorable ladies and gentlemen, distinguished authorities, scientists, and representatives of the institutions
It is nothing.
gathered here. My name is João Janini. I am a professor and doctor with specialization in anatomic pathology. I worked professionally for 60 years, during which I performed more than 50,000 autopsies, conducted over 1 million microscopic analyses, and served as a preceptor to more than 200 postgraduate students. I carried out academic activities at 3 higher education institutions: Fluminense Federal University, the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, and the University of Brasilia, where I held the position of associate professor. In the southern region of Minas Gerais, I founded the Institute for Prevention and Diagnosis, IPD, where I developed and implemented programs focused on cancer prevention.
Oh, David, that's good news. You got Vicky.
The access granted to me was limited exclusively to tissue fragments collected during the autopsy of the body of soldier Marco Eli Sherezi. Subsequently, I received circumstantial reports presented by gentlemen ufologists who requested a review of the previously mentioned material. Based on these reports, I prepared my conclusions focusing exclusively on the identification and analysis of the bacterium responsible for the infection that affected the soldier. This bacterium proved to be a microbial agent of extremely high aggressiveness and lethality.
Wow.
Given its characteristics, I understand that it goes beyond the limits of a conventional infection, possibly presenting itself as a highly specialized mechanism of aggression and defense,
it wasn't.
which raises the hypothesis of its alien origin.
Your immune system can only fight what it
We
recognizes.
are currently awaiting the necessary legal procedures for the exhumation of the body, with the expectation that advanced studies in molecular biology may provide new evidence regarding its mechanisms of aggressiveness, corroborating the hypothesis that it is an organism of extraterrestrial origin. If confirmed, such a finding would represent an equivocal proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life, implying a profound global reformulation of our philosophical understanding of existence. January the 8th, 2026, Varginha, Dr. J. Janini.
Nice one, yeah. So they're going to try and dig him up, basically. I was right the first time. I thought I was getting my cases mixed up, but they.
Thank you, Dr. Armando. We have the distinct honor of, as I announced earlier, Senator João, who's here, and we thought we would offer him a quick opportunity to say something if he'd like, take a few-minute break, and then we're going to present Dr. Italo, who allegedly had face-to-face contact with the creature, some level of communication for 3 to 4 minutes after we take a short little break. So, Senator, if you'd like to come up and say a little brief word, we're happy to have you here. Thank you so much.
There's an idea that life is connected. It's a bit across the universe. It's not just confined. So life, extraterrestrial life, may be related to Earth life. Yeah. Oh, this is the Senate. This is the politician, Senate.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My English is not so good, so I would like to. Aline, you will help me.
It's better than my Portuguese.
É uma honra ter recebido o convite seu, Jane Fox, para estarmos aqui hoje.
It's a great honor to have received the invitation from James Fox to be here today.
Eu não vim em nome do Senado do Brasil.
I did not come representing the Brazilian Senate.
Desde pequeno, eu tenho curiosidade nesse assunto.
Since I was little, I've been curious about this subject.
Então, eu fiz questão de vir aqui pagando do meu bolso,
So I made sure to come here on my own account.
trazendo amigos como o Coronel Gerson Gomes,
Bringing friends such as the Colonel Gerson Gomes,
que é um jornalista independente muito respeitado do Brasil,
that's a very respected independent journalist in Brazil,
para compartilhar com vocês esse momento histórico.
to share with you here this historical moment.
Eu sou do Ceará,
I'm from Ceará,
um estado no nordeste do Brasil.
in the north of Brazil.
Famous Brazilians,
E
Pelé and
lá
Charles mom.
nós tivemos uma brilhante escritora chamada Raquel de Queiroz.
We have a brilliant author, writer there called Raquel de Queiroz.
Ela escrevia mensalmente na revista mais importante do Brasil.
She wrote monthly to the most important magazine in Brazil.
E quebrou um paradigma escrevendo um artigo sobre um avistamento em Quixadá, que fica no meu estado.
And she broke the paradigm by writing about this UFO case in Quixadá,
Com 20 testemunhas confirmando.
with 20 witnesses confirming it.
Nós tivemos outro caso no Brasil que é muito emblemático também,
There is another puzzling case in Brazil also
que é a Operação Prato,
that's called
Prato.
Operação Prato, Operation Plate,
Yep, that's called
que a Força Aérea Brasileira
that the Brazilian Air Force
identificou em vários estados do
someone mentioned
Brasil,
Colares earlier.
identified in several states over Brazil
na mesma noite,
on the same evening,
vários objetos voadores não identificados.
many UFO or UAPs.
Mas o caso mais simbólico e que mais repercute no mundo
But the most symbolic case and the one with the most repercussion in the world
é o caso de Varginha.
is the Varginha case.
Tem um grande humanista brasileiro de Minas Gerais também,
There is a great Brazilian humanist also from the state
um
of Minas Gerais,
pacifista considerado pelo povo brasileiro como o mineiro do século, que nasceu em Minas Gerais.
a pacifist considered by Brazilians
É considerado como o brasileiro de todos os tempos, um grande brasileiro de todos os tempos.
like the great Brazilian of all times, this pacifist,
Chico Xavier.
Chico Xavier.
Ele fez um documentário, James, que foi feito em relação à sua fala da data limite de Chico Xavier.
He made a documentary talking about the limit date of Chico Xavier.
Não ele que fez, fizeram um documentário que está aberto
They made
gratuitamente.
a documentary about him.
E ele diz que com 50 anos após o homem chegar na Lua,
And he said that 50 years after man has reached the moon,
Or did they?
se nós não tivéssemos a Terceira Guerra Mundial,
if we didn't have the Third World War,
o mundo iria conhecer, em pouco tempo,
the world would shortly come to know
um contato mais próximo com seres de outros planetas.
a closer contact with beings from other planets.
That's already happening, I think.
E eu quero parabenizar Jane pela sua coragem.
He wants to congratulate James for his courage.
Eu quero parabenizar também 2 convidados que foram ao Senado do Brasil,
He wants to also congratulate 2 guests that came to the Brazilian Senate.
que nós fizemos 3 anos atrás um evento mundial no Senado do Brasil sobre os 75 anos de ufologia.
They did a 70-year ufology celebration event.
O detetive aposentado da Polícia Federal, da Polícia Inglesa, Gary Heseltine,
Oh, Gary hasn't.
Retired detective of the English police.
e Robert Lambert Salas, comandante da reserva do Exército Americano e pesquisador de ufologia.
Commander of the U.S. Army and UFO researcher.
Foi um evento com uma presença de pesquisadores, ufólogos
It was a great event with researchers.
Do Brasil. E para encerrar,
And to finish.
esses brasileiros aqui que estão comigo têm muita coragem.
These Brazilians up here with me are very courageous.
Não é fácil tratar desse assunto no Brasil, que existe o julgamento e é entendido por muitas pessoas como chacota.
It's not easy to deal with the subject matter in Brazil. There's a lot of ridicule and a lot of fun for these people.
E nós vivemos um momento hoje gravíssimo político no Brasil.
And we are in a dire political moment in Brazil also.
De caçada à liberdade de expressão.
Where they're hunting down freedom of expression.
Com presos políticos, mais de 1.000 presos políticos.
With more than 1,000 political prisoners.
E falar desse assunto hoje também precisa ter muita coragem.
And to speak about this today also requires a lot of courage.
Eu faço um apelo às autoridades americanas que porventura estejam aqui.
He makes an appeal to the American authorities that may be here today.
Que possam ter alguns elementos desse caso de Varginha, possam ter trazido aos Estados Unidos.
That they can bring some of the elements of the Varginha case to the United States.
Que possam compartilhar conosco. Eu estarei à disposição.
That they may share that with us, that will be available.
E cobrarei transparência também do governo brasileiro.
And you will also require transparency from the Brazilian government.
Para que a verdade triunfe.
So that the truth may triumph.
Muito obrigado a todos.
That's good. Yeah. I remember the hearing in Brazil, which Gary went to, and Captain Bob Salas was there, and it was like it was something similar to one in the US.
This has gone on a little longer than we thought, but that happens, and so I could feel the tension in the room. People need to squiggle and move around for a few minutes. So why don't we actually take the 15-minute break now?
Couple minute break.
10 negotiate. Women need a few minutes. So I just wanted to say, yeah, we have 3 speakers left, right? We have Dr. Italo and Colonel Clausen and what's your name, Kirk? And then I don't know, Representative Burleson, I'm concerned about your timing. Do you need to leave soon? Should we? You're okay.
Good.
All right, fantastic. All right, 10 minutes.
Couple minute break.
We'll see you here.
We'll
See you back. All right, thanks.
I'm just going to take a quick break, guys, and then we'll. Okay.
Got a couple of minutes?
I think there is like a break now.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'm going to go to a break then, and then we'll go through your notes. 'Cause a lot of you have been asking for like sponge beauty.
Okay.
I'll go through some of your comments because I've been making some running notes. All right, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Put the kettle on, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll play the theme while I'm away.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangles, up and woe. Black goo and woe. Black goo and Antarctica, get blues from the seventh star. Men in black and Kumbutika, Hapan Woe. Welcome to the Hapan Woe Show. Once could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens. Save me from the government. Save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics. Save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control souls created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple. Save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters. Save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
All right, guys. Yeah, that was. I thought I'd play that again. I won't play that at the end because we've heard it twice now. It's cool, isn't it? Got Oriane on. Rhiannon's music is fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. I've just been out. Got myself. I'm put the kettle on, but let's just see how they're getting on in the. Oh, here we go. Oh, it started again, I think.
Good catch there. So yeah, I think that's really great. And I
it's
like
it's Martin doing an interview.
This testimony.
Right.
And you see someone get emotional. That it's kind of hard to fake that.
So I'll be back in a minute. I've got to do something.
You know, that's why you got a standing ovation. You know, basically. You know, people feel that emotion. So I'm going to try to get Sarah. Sarah, yeah, I'm just wondering, would you mind? Thank you, Mark. Thank you. So I can't really do anything.
Halo
I know you have the halo.
Ooh, wait.
I know.
Do I look like an angel?
I know, and I can't do anything about that. The light's behind you and I can't really move this setup anywhere. And but anyway, I just wanted to, and I can't get you on I have two different streams here. I got to get you on the
Just saying hi.
telephone stream.
I'm gonna take a selfie here and have this angel moment.
Yeah, because you're an angel. So I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to just ask you hey, here we are.
Where's the cow? Hi, everybody.
So I wanted to, what do you think so far? I mean, this
Oh
is
my gosh.
amazing. Huh?
This is incredible. And one of my friends that's sitting a little bit further back, he actually speaks Portuguese. And so there's been a lot lost in translation as well. So
I don't know how you could translate that quickly anyway.
If you speak it fluently, but yeah, I barely speak English. So this has been so incredible. I'm feeling the emotions of everybody speaking too. Like I'm sure that comes across as well on the camera, but being here in person has been incredible.
I know, hasn't it?
It's been hard to withhold some claps once in a while and respect people and let them keep talking so you don't interrupt them. But yeah.
Well, it would be interesting to know what was lost in translation, though. That would be.
I will find out.
Yeah.
I will report back.
If there's anything.
Yeah, I definitely will report back once I get more details.
Yeah. So we don't know how long this break's going to go on. It might be. I don't know. You said 10 minutes, but the way things generally go.
Everybody's pretty dispersed right now, and the line in the bathroom is very long.
Is there?
I very quickly walked there, so I got ahead of the crowd.
Awesome. Yeah. So what do you think? There's a lot of people here, huh?
Yeah, this is incredible. James said 400 could fit in here, and I think it's not quite full, but there's at least 250 probably.
Yeah,
here.
that's what I was thinking about, 250 or more. Which is great. Hey, Stephen Bassett, how are you? I'm filming live here.
Do you want to rotate?
Thank you. Yeah, you want to pop
rotate in?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Do you mind asking Leslie Clean if she might sit for just a minute? Hey, guy. Good to see you, man. Hey, Steve. Thank you for. I saw you put my links out there to the stream. Thank you. You're live right now. We're still streaming.
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to support all of the content creators and podcasters I can.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm going to even do more of that going forward.
Yeah. So Stephen Bassett, I should say, introduce you. And are you New Paradigm Research or what? I'm sorry.
No, I'm Paradigm.
I get it confused. I'm terribly sorry.
I'm Paradigm Research Group.
Yeah.
And Danny Sheehan is New Paradigm Institute.
Yeah. Okay.
And we work very closely together. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So are you based right here in Washington? Because
Yes, my office is in this building.
In this building?
Has been for 5 years.
I wondered about that. I knew
2
it was
blocks from the
somewhere,
White House.
but I didn't know if you stayed here all the time or you just go back and forth.
No, I do. I go back and forth to LA because the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance is something I co-founded back there with Dan Harari, and that's really growing, 250 members. And we're starting to get things cooking in Hollywood on this issue, as you probably noticed.
Right. I think that's pretty exciting. So what do you think so far? I'm loving this today.
Well, this is, again, we've had, the press club has had more events, more press conferences and events on the UFO subject and any other venue in the world.
I didn't know that. I know that
19.
Stephen Greer did years ago.
He did one in 2001.
Yeah.
But, and they've always been wonderful and supportive, and there's no problem whatsoever. And so the press club has played a major role in educating the public and media, press, about this subject, and non-trivial. And this is just the latest example of that. And of course, James Fox is a legend in this field, and he's done. And he went to great lengths to bring this case. This kind of press conference would have been hard to have handled 20 years ago.
Right.
But the thing is now moved forward for a case of this complexity.
So you can't see it.
Involving contact and so forth like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can.
Audience, member of Congress here. So we're very close to ending what I call the truth embargo and getting this thing confirmed by our president.
Now, I have to say, I always have to bring this up every time we talk, that when I very first started the show in 2011, I contacted everybody I could find in the UFO world and asked them to be my first guest. You're the only one that said yes. And I want to thank you for that. It's been quite a ride. We're still at it after all these years.
It was my pleasure. Look, I got into this field very late. I'm just an activist. I'm not super researcher. And I just felt the one thing I could do was help others get into the field, help them and encourage them. And also I've helped, conferences with banquets, we give out awards because, we were stigmatized and criticized and laughed at for so long that, you have to support each other. And so it's been a pleasure watching the podcast revolution explode, right?
I know, hasn't it?
And what can I say? I've done about, 400 podcast interviews, which has kind of worked out for me.
One of them's one of them's mine.
I'm glad you stuck with it because the party is about to begin.
I know, it's been so great. It's been really awesome. Thank you so much. Always fun to talk to you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I'm going to try to scoot up and speak with this gentleman. I'm doing this all live, so I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah. I'm going to try to.
I think Trump didn't have to deal with this kind of stuff 50 years ago, right? But that's thinking was, we'll keep it a secret.
Someone says Bassett is a legend. Yeah,
all right,
he is,
thank you.
Man. He really is.
All right, everyone. So bear with me. I had to disconnect to move this.
Martin commented on Steve Mumbling's channel. Do you remember? He had this comment from Martin Willis, and I thought, wow, you are honoured, Steve.
Oh, 70s. No, he didn't start. Was he talking about this?
I just wonder if I can just say hi to Kirk real quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been. So 94, 93.
All right, go ahead.
This is much better than you get from News Nation because you get these like Vox Populi. You won't do this with News Nation.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Right now, Ross.
And what are you doing here? What are you doing here today?
Well, I'm talking about some Air Force.
Air Force things?
Yeah. Life to and from Brazil. And how it happened. And
that's not Wendell Stevens. No, he's died, didn't he, Wendell Stevens? Who's that?
Okay, so you're going to be up on the stadium podium to talk about this.
Yeah,
who's that guy? I know him, but
you're closing out.
Yeah.
Well, great. I look forward to that.
You're
I'm Martin Willis.
Martin Willis. I've seen your show.
We have.
Oh, yeah. I watch it all the time.
Well, thank you.
Mumble will have to be humble.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's going to be funny, isn't it?
That very much.
Thank you, brother, Mark.
All right. Yeah. Try to introduce myself to this gentleman over here.
Well, I'm connected with Danny, his oldest son. And then Kenny is his middle. Kenny doesn't want anything to do with it. And Tony is his youngest. So Tony, Kenny, Danny. Danny's the one who's involved.
This is really great, isn't
Hi,
it?
Kirk. I'm sorry. I'm live. I've been live the whole stream. My name's Martin Willis. I do podcast UFO, and been doing this since 2011 on the UFO subject. I just want to say hi. I watched you in, was it The Phenomenon? What film were you in?
Oh, Molly, James says he asked me to make a statement for the program.
That's right.
And then his most recent film here, his small section in that. I don't know why, because it doesn't really fit with the theme of the movie. But I think he likes me, and
well,
he,
we all like credible people. And you are, and you have in your background. Can you just say your background real quickly? You have a background in intelligence.
Well, I've worked for both intelligence committees, the Intelligence Committee in the House and in the Senate at different times. And I've spent most of my years working for the Senate Armed Services Committee. And that's where I was when the New York Times article came out in 2017. And so I and some colleagues.
It's kind of very easy because the MC is like talking in the background. It makes it difficult.
Sort of formed a little collaborative group to start pulling the threads on what was reported in that article. And we also were engaging with interested members on both committees. Some who were members of both Armed Services and the Intelligence Committee at the time. And we pursued that.
Hello is here.
2017 until I retired. In,
welcome, hello. Welcome,
2024.
hello.
So before the article came out,
DJ's got beer. Good.
You give much thought to UFOs in general?
Not really. I mean, there's,
With some people.
I had been interested for some time in, governments and some scientists have liked to speculate that a phenomenon that's naturally occurring called ball lightning, which are plasma formations, that they can, these natural occurring structures could explain a lot of sightings. And I've always been interested in ball lightning because it is itself an enigma. Scientists have never been able to really explain what it is. And it does behave in peculiar ways.
Just want to check my emails.
It can
still hear it.
It goes through the glass on cockpits. It goes through houses, the walls of houses, and shows up inside people's homes. And it explodes occasionally with great force. It could fly around against the wind and sometimes at high speeds. They seem to be related to the Foo Fighters that were observed in World War II. So there's a lot of strange things about them, and so I was always interested in the science of that, and it is adjacent to the UFO issue. But no, I never really entertained the idea that we were being visited by off-world beings until some years after that New York Times article, when the more and more we looked at and the more people we talked to, I could not help but faced with so many reports and testimonials and history that I started to say, okay, I guess this is the reality that we face.
Right.
So thanks so much.
Real quick. All right. Yeah. Here, not that. That's like a all right.
I just had to contact someone on Facebook.
Thank you. Thank you. From the heart, right? You can't go wrong. They can feel it. It's happening. It's happening. All right, folks. Alrighty.
I have to. Sit down, Steve.
It's time. I don't know what's happening.
No, they're going to get on to part 2 as well. They've got to do part 2 later as well. I'll start a new live stream for that, actually, because this one's going to go on for ages. I need to take a break as well.
All right. Everybody getting comfy, settled. In a totally codependent way, I can tell you I feel better that we've all had a break. All right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Our next Brazilian witness. Are we all here? Yeah, good, mostly. Our next Brazilian witness brings an essential perspective to one of the most difficult and still unresolved aspects of the Varginha case. The sudden and tragic, oh no, wrong person. I told you, 3 a.m. There's not enough coffee. I love you, Karen. Thank you.
What? Oh my God, what's this?
All right, final Brazilian witness, Dr. Ítalo. No, wait. It's a physician
Really?
specializing
Oh my God, David. We'll talk
in
about that
neurology
later.
and neurosurgery.
Send me more
with
information.
nearly 5 decades of experience in both clinical care and specialized neurological procedures.
Oh, Zitalo.
He's currently the leading neurosurgeon at Regional Hospital. He maintains a private practice and is also involved in healthcare management through his medical services company. For the first time in a public setting, we are honored to hear directly from Dr. Ítalo, who will describe his face-to-face interaction with a captured living being of advanced non-human intelligence, an apparent survivor of the Varginha crash. His experience represents one of the most significant developments in the history of UAP investigations. Dr. Ítalo.
Phuket, we had a little break, but there was some interviews on Martin Willis's channel. But, here he is. This is the guy who saw the creature, interacted with it, apparently.
Eu guardei grande segredo por 29 anos, dividindo este assunto com alguns colegas médicos, apesar de outros terem conhecimento do caso.
I held on to a very big secret for 29 years, sharing it only with a few medical colleagues, even though many others knew what I knew.
Em 2023, revelei ao time do James Fox que tinha visto vídeo onde havia uma criatura que não era humana.
In 2023, I revealed to James Fox and his team that I had seen a video of a non-human creature in the hospital on January 20th, 1996.
Depois de ter sofrido ataque cardíaco quase fatal, em 2024, criei coragem para dividir mais detalhes da minha experiência, apesar das preocupações com o possível impacto na minha carreira.
Right, David, thanks.
After suffering a near-fatal heart attack in 2024, I felt compelled to share more details of my experience, despite previous concern about consequences for my career.
Naquela tarde de 1996, eu estava trabalhando no Hospital Regional de Varginha, quando um colega meu, chamado Marcos Vinícius, com uma câmera muito grande, me chamou numa sala de urgência para ver um paciente.
That afternoon in 1996, I was working at Varginha Regional Hospital when my colleague and fellow neurosurgeon, Marcos Vinícius Neves, urgently called me into an improvised intensive care room. He was carrying a large video camera.
Ao entrar na sala, me mostrou uma câmera em preto e branco que parecia uma criança deitada numa cama com uma hidrocefalia extrema.
Upon entering, he showed me a black and white video on the camera screen that appeared to be a child lying in bed with an extreme case
Hello,
of
Dave Bell.
hydrocephalus.
Big up the Woo crew. Yeah.
Perguntei, o que é isto? Ele apontou para uma cama onde estava deitado um ser. Eu me aproximei e, ao vê-lo, imediatamente percebi que não era humano.
I asked, "What is this?" He pointed past the makeshift partition where a being was lying. I got closer. The moment I looked at the being, I immediately knew it was not human.
Olhei para ele primeiramente com a perspectiva médica. Estava respirando bem, sem dificuldade, parecia não estar com dor, consciente, não estava sangrando, parecia bem, com um semblante muito calmo e tranquilo.
I first examined it with a medical perspective, breathing well, no apparent pain, conscious, no bleeding. It seemed fine, with a calm and serene expression.
Parecia uma criança de uns 7 anos. Um lençol coberto, até aqui, no corpo, né, até a cintura. Os olhos eram lilás, bem como o crânio.
It looked like a 7-year-old child with a sheet covering up to its waist. Its eyes were lilac and teardrop-shaped. The cranium was also teardrop-shaped.
A pele era branca, os braços bem finos, 3 dedos com o polegar opositor, não havia mamilo e uma boca pequena.
The skin was white, the arms were very thin, and the hand had 3 fingers and an opposing thumb. It had no nipples and a tiny mouth.
Ele olhou para mim, olhou para o céu de uma janela, olhou para mim novamente.
He looked at me, then looked at the blue sky through the window as if longing to be there, then looked back at me.
Oh.
E a impressão que eu tive nesta segunda troca de olhar foi que ele tinha completa consciência do que estava acontecendo ao seu redor e da nossa intenção de ajudá-lo.
After that, I sensed it was fully aware of what was happening around it and our intention to help.
Senti que ele estava agradecido pelos cuidados, que queria ir embora.
I felt it was grateful for the care and wanted to leave.
A sua serenidade e a presença imponente me levaram a acreditar que eu estava na presença de nível de inteligência muito elevado.
He had a few too many
Its
caffeine.
serenity and powerful presence led me to believe it had a very high level of intelligence and perception,
Some after that.
higher than human beings.
Yes. Parecia anjo, com a compreensão e compaixão em seu olhar, ciente de que estávamos fazendo o melhor que podíamos por ele, apesar das nossas limitações.
It seemed like an angel with understanding and compassion in its gaze, aware that, despite our limitations, we were doing the best we could for it.
Estou aqui perante vossa presença, com nada a ganhar, tudo a perder, não estou vendendo nada e não estou pedindo dinheiro.
I stand before you with nothing to gain and everything to lose. I am not selling anything or asking for money.
Ainda trabalho como neurocirurgião. Estou aqui porque, principalmente para as novas gerações, eles merecem saber que há muito mais além do que a nossa existência humana. Eu sou uma testemunha. Thanks.
I still work as a neurosurgeon, and I am here because everyone, especially the younger generation, deserve to know there is much more beyond human existence, and I am eyewitness to the proof. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. He's getting that. Where was the other captured being during this time? Well, David, that's a good question. I mean, there were at least three of them actually, because there was another one they never caught. It was seen a few months later. Just got to text someone.
We, Marco Leal, myself, and our team, Alini, we have somebody. Give too many details, but it's a mole in one of the hospitals several years ago. There,
I bet he's a porter.
We meet, no phones, extremely paranoid, and this is the person you need to go talk to. I would, if I were you, I'd go. You know, it's like this person saw the video. How do you know? Because I'm friends with the doctor. He, you know. So we went after Italo. He did not
anymore. Yeah,
come after us, and we. We're trying to find the video because obviously that's the holy grail. Yeah. Anybody out there thinks that I'm not giving it everything I've got. If I sat there and told you all the efforts to get a hold of the photographic evidence, we'd be here till tomorrow. We found Italo, and I jokingly describe him as trying to grab a bar of soap in the bathtub. You know, it was like he would kind of respond. He seemed like he was conflicted, and then he would not get back to us. And then finally he agreed to meet with Marco Leal and do a Zoom call. I think it was like 2023. And I was just fixated on the video. So I was asking him over the video with the interpreter, Marco Leal, you know, did you see the video? Did you see the video? And now I've adopted the nickname, Oh My God, because when I found out when he confessed to having seen the video, I was like, oh my God, where is it? Who shot it? Where, you know? So we were like, all right, we're going back to Brazil. We're going to meet with the two forensic pathologists because that was a huge development. And now we had a potential lead to get our hands in the video. But we kept trying to get a hold of him over the next year. And then he had a heart attack after he admitted the video, but he wasn't willing to go anything further at that point. That was the video was as far as he was willing to go. Got a heart attack. He said he was staring at the ICU, the ceiling, and thinking, I can't take this to the grave. If I get through this, I'm going to meet with James's team and I'm going to reveal. So in 2025, in January, we went back to Brazil. We were meeting with Dr. Armando and Dr. Giannini, and we were talking about the autopsy and the tissue samples. And oh, and by the way, Dr. Armando, could you get a hold of, of course, he's one of the most well-connected people within the medical community. Could you get a hold of Dr. Italo? Oh, yeah. Whips out his phone. Dr. Italo. They speak, and he says, meet him around the backside of the hospital.
David, yeah, it does somewhat resemble the ET creature, but yes, obviously different in nature.
So our team, not going to ask any questions, runs backside and sneaks us in the back of the hospital, down through the various series of corridors, and then right into the ICU. And that's when he decided to drop the bomb. And he did. And it got us all off guard. So I just want to say, Dr. Italo, it takes tremendous courage for someone who's got so much to lose and nothing to gain. He's not making a dime. He's not selling a book. He's not trying to sell a documentary. He's still working on people's brains. So I know that courage is infectious, and it's strength in numbers. Today marks the 30th anniversary of this incident. We're going back to Brazil in a couple of days, meeting with the mayor. We're going to be giving presentations. So if anyone out there is listening to this, it's involved certainly on the American side, particularly on the Brazilian side. If you're ever thinking about coming forward, now's the time.
David, they'd have been
We have a couple of closing statements that are very significant. I was contacted anonymously by a gentleman who happens to be sitting right over here, right after I did a big Joe Rogan appearance on this case when the first version of Moment of Contact was released. This guy was really smart. I get contacted by people all the time. And he was like, yeah, this is where you look at flight logs and this, because there was people coming forward on the Brazilian side saying, yeah, I saw the USAP flight come in. So finally, after like 3 months, anonymous correspondence, I said, excuse me, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm actually a retired United States Air Force colonel, and I'm also a fighter pilot, and I had a pretty dramatic UFO encounter back in 1980, which coincidentally was covered up. Now, okay, that explains it. So he eventually came forward to share publicly his UFO encounter, but today he's here to talk about something I feel is extremely significant, and that is this potential flight that came in from the United States of America in January of 1996. Yeah, so without further ado, Colonel Clausen, thank you so much for being here today. Here we go.
My name is Fred Clausen, retired U.S. Air Force bird colonel
I've seen him before.
And fighter pilot. I have more than 4,000 hours of flying time in the F-15, the F-4, and I flew combat missions in the F-105 during the Vietnam conflict. I was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross twice and held a top secret SCI clearance. While flying the F-15, I intercepted a UFO, took gun camera film, which was immediately confiscated. But that's another story for another time. Today, I am speaking on another matter, a matter that requires world attention. According to several Brazilian authorities, including air traffic controller Marcos Ferreira, on or about the 20th of January, 1996,
it depends what that
the
clearance
U.S.
is
Air
for,
Force
what the
cargo
compartment
plane,
is.
most likely the C-17, took off from a base in the U.S. It flew secretly into Brazilian airspace without flight clearance from the Brazilian government,
top secret,
and it landed at Viracopos Airport in Campinas. While at Campinas, witnesses talked of it loading an unusual cargo, then departing to an unknown location in the United States.
Cosmic top secret. Oh, I wonder what
If
that's for.
true, I'm certain that 30 to 40 Americans had direct knowledge
Really, David?
of this flight and its purpose. I will now walk you through a potential paper trail this mission could have left behind. In order to secure a cargo plane, a specific protocol must be adhered to. The tasking would be sent to Air Mobility Command at Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, who has command authority over all U.S. Air Force cargo aircraft and refueling tankers. The paper trail has begun. Air Mobility Command transmits a mission order to the Air Mobility Wing at Charleston Air Force Base, South
love to know
Carolina.
more. Thanks for the
The
information.
paper trail. At Charleston, a crew is selected for the mission and a C-17 cargo aircraft is made ready. The distance from Charleston to Campinas, Brazil is roughly 4,500 miles. The unrefueled range of a C-17 is about 2,500 miles. Therefore, air refueling by KC-135 would be required. More people in the know, another paper trail. An international flight plan to Brazil is required, even if the mission is classified. Paper trail. On board the C-17 is a minimum crew of a pilot, co-pilot, and loadmaster. But due to the nature of the mission, probably more. Maybe CIA and a general officer.
That's right,
The
David.
C-17 lands at Campinas and must be refueled. Who pays for the fuel? Where's the receipt? Before departing Campinas, another international flight plan must be filed. Again, more paper trail. The C-17 flies back to the United States with tanker support and lands at an undisclosed location.
So they in-flight refueling.
As you can see from this possible scenario, I estimate that at least 30 to 40 Americans have direct knowledge of this mission. So here's my plea today. If you were a participant and have knowledge of the mission, come forward.
Yeah, please do.
You're probably retired now, in your 70s, maybe a little older like me, and have languished for 30 years with this knowledge. Come forward.
Yeah.
We know this mission happened, and you know it too. Come forward. The time is now. Thank you.
Yeah, please do. So the in-flight refueling would have been of high priority. Didn't just take a little detour and land somewhere and refueled. They didn't want it landing on the way. It had to go direct, which meant refueled in the air.
Thank you, Colonel. It was because of Colonel Clausen that our team filed a FOIA request. And that FOIA request is in the latest cut of the film, New Revelations, Moment of Contact, New Revelations. And interestingly enough, we filed it in 2022. We got a response back 3 years later.
Oh,
and it was from the CIA. It was like essentially, because of the 1949 National Security Act, blah, 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 your request is denied. We can neither confirm nor, just blah, 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 blah. So this is why I'm hoping certain members of Congress might consider using their strength to see what you can dig up. That was for you and the rest of you guys.
Or John Greenwood Jr. will do it.
So,
I mean, he's probably already tried, hasn't he?
we need help, okay? We have one final statement from Kirk. Thank you, Kirk, by the way, about whistleblower protection and specific legislation that he's worked on. So without further ado, Kirk, you're welcome to the podium for the final statement. And then afterwards, Congressman Burleson is going to give a little statement. Thank you.
Well, Burleson's coming. That's good. That'll be good.
James asked me to put something together today in response, in a way, to a segment of his recent film. During, as you'll see if you watch his recent film, you'll see that aerospace engineer Dr. Eric Davis, one of the nation's most respected experts on UAP programs, including classified programs, stated on camera that because of his non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, because of the obligations of his NDAs, he believes that he cannot share further information with Congress about legacy UAP programs without explicit authorization from the executive branch. Eric is not alone in this belief. Many actual and potential UAP whistleblowers have the same understanding of what the law and regulations require of them or prohibit them from doing. So this question of what executive branch employees and contractors are legally permitted to disclose to Congress is actually complex. And it's not so easy to summarize the entire issue of the problems that whistleblowers face in this short segment. But I'm going to try to at least give you an idea of what's at stake and what's involved. Equally complex and far more consequential for individuals is what can happen to those who do choose to report wrongdoing in classified programs that have been deliberately withheld from Congress.
Well, David, according to the back,
I want to outline several key points because Congress and the American people need to hear directly from more people with firsthand knowledge of legacy UAP
I'll make a
programs.
note of that.
And right now, we're consistently informed. There are many who do want to come forward, who believe Congress and the public have a right to know, but who are deterred by doing so, deterred from doing so by fear.
Well, they get threatened.
Fear rooted in partially, at least, misunderstanding of the law.
He is, yes, DJ.
And partly also in the very real examples and experiences of retaliation.
Yeah.
To people who have come forward. Potential whistleblowers worry about prosecution for violating NDAs, as I've mentioned. They worry about the loss. They're fearful of the loss of their security clearances, the loss of their employment, and other forms of retaliation that are very difficult and costly to challenge, even where formal avenues of appeal exist. It is true that protections for whistleblowers, particularly those handling classified national security information, are often weak in practice, despite the fact that there are laws and regulations ostensibly, well, they were passed and enacted to protect whistleblowers. Sources who possess information about U.S. government UAP activities or who have witnessed UAP events have consistently reported threats to their livelihood and even their personal safety.
Yeah.
Harassment in some cases has been severe. It is publicly known, for example, that figures like David Grush and Lou Elizondo,
I didn't know
who
that.
have not disclosed even first-hand information about
DJ,
legacy
so I see,
programs,
ID badge
have
says
faced
secret
clear retaliation.
Yeah.
However, and this point cannot be emphasized
As long as it's the
strongly
nice
enough,
aliens.
whistleblowers very likely do not need to fear prosecution for providing classified information about legacy programs to Congress, provided that they do so through secure channels. That is to say, you don't just tell them in a foyer of a Capitol Hill building. You need to arrange to be in a sensitive compartmented information facility in a SCIF. Okay, so what I mean to say is that laws and regulations are very clear on this point. NDAs prohibit sharing classified information with unauthorized individuals. but Congress is, by statute and regulations, an authorized recipient of classified information. NDAs cannot legally be used to withhold classified programs or associated wrongdoing from congressional oversight. This is explicit in law and regulation. Furthermore, the executive branch is required by law to report all special access and compartmented programs to Congress, regardless of their sensitivity. Failure to comply with these laws is unlawful and unconstitutional, certainly in the view of Congress. NDAs cannot be used as a shield to evade these obligations. Now, presidents have claimed, in quotes, plenary Article 2 authority over sensitive national security information. Plenary, if you look it up in the dictionary, means total, unfettered, unlimited, and so on. But this is an inferred power, not an explicit constitutional grant. That is, you don't see language in the Constitution that states this. Congress holds equally strong Article 1 authorities, entitling it to the information it needs to legislate. I'm confident personally that the government would lose any serious legal challenge asserting that Congress is not authorized to receive sensitive classified information covered by executive branch non-disclosure agreements. In reality, for the reasons cited, although officials may threaten prosecution, as far as I can tell, and those of other colleagues that I've worked with on this, no one has ever been prosecuted for providing classified information to Congress. Such a prosecution would require showing harm to national security, a claim nearly impossible to sustain when the disclosures made to Congress itself. For these reasons, I believe the government would not pursue legal actions against whistleblowers who provide protected UAP disclosures to Congress in a secure setting.
Apparently that's already happened.
Judges, Congress, and the American people would not tolerate prosecuting individuals for revealing truths that demonstrate Congress has been misled, has been lied to about issues of profound importance.
They might just decide to do
but the fear of such actions, this Alice in Wonderland dynamic, remains a powerful deterrent, and it must be addressed.
Exactly, yeah.
So what can be done? There is, in fact, a straightforward solution. With the stroke of a pen and a public statement, even a social media post, the president could explicitly affirm that federal law allows protected disclosures to Congress, because Congress is an authorized recipient of classified information covered by NDAs.
I hope Trump does that.
It could be that simple. If the president or his cabinet members will not make this clear, then Congress should. In addition, congressional committees already possess the authority to grant immunity in exchange for testimony. That is to say, NDAs aside, if you appear in front of a congressional committee that has offered you immunity for your testimony, you cannot be prosecuted for doing so. However, even if the threat of prosecution is largely a bluff, other forms of retaliation are real and damaging. These include the fabrication or exaggeration of allegations of security violations for individuals, leading to indefinite clearance investigations or revocations. Manufactured claims of misconduct or poor performance to justify termination of employment. Black marks placed in security files, preventing future employment. Reassignment, isolation, marginalization, or hostile work environments. Administrative leave, placing individuals on administrative leave with or without pay. For contractors, sudden quote changes to government requirements that simply eliminate their position and their job. And if an individual must take another job during an appeals process simply to survive financially, because it takes months and months and months to grind through these appeals processes, simply to survive financially, they may be forced to take another job. Well, if you take another job, you lose standing to pursue your case, typically. Whistleblowers can face financial ruin, as you can see, especially as legal expenses accumulate.
U.S. Secret Service. Okay. Man.
Congress must address this fundamental problem and incentivize potential whistleblowers to come forward by establishing a rapid, assured mechanism to compensate them for lost wages and expenses.
Sorry, Fuka, I was saying that
Some may ask,
Eisenhower tried to get into Area 51.
why UAP whistleblowers deserve special consideration over other whistleblowers. The answer to me is straightforward. The stakes are extremely high when it comes to this topic. Few would dispute that the discovery of non-human intelligence visiting Earth would be an event of profound significance. The executive branch appears determined to keep this information secret at the highest levels, making this a major policy decision, one that could place officials assigned to protect whistleblowers, such as inspectors general, in direct conflict with senior policymakers. These factors distinguish UAP-related disclosures from typical cases of fraud, waste, and abuse. Congress may need to take a more active role, even than I've suggested so far, in protecting these individuals, potentially by creating and administering.
Hi, David. I've not heard of that film.
Law to allow whistleblowers to go directly to Congress without first filing a complaint with an inspector general. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, David Schultz. How you doing? I've not heard of that film, but I'll look into it.
Thank you, Kirk. It's a complex issue. People just go, well, why don't they just come forward? It's so easy. It's actually not. So just trying to create an environment to enable people that do want to come forward, firsthand metal benders, people that are working in the labs.
He says here, the Brazilian senator, this is Elaine Kell. Hello, welcome, Elaine. The Brazilian senator is lying. He represents one of the poorest states in Brazil. He should be defending his state's poor population, spreading lies and defending radicalized vandals. All right. I don't know much about this guy, I'm afraid, Elaine, except Gary Heseltine met him. But hang on, I've got to go back to here, but I'll address your point again.
It falls into the wrong hands, and they weaponize it. Okay, I understand that. Maybe there's the acknowledgement that we have.
David, yeah.
But the biologics, that to me, that doesn't pose a national security.
This is why, David, this is why so much is contracted out.
We have a closing statement, then we're going to open up the floor to Q&A. We have the space all day. And then eventually we'll open it right up. So if you guys want to directly interact with the witnesses, they'll be here for that. But without further ado, I'd love to invite Representative Burleson on stage to say a few. Thank you so much for being here.
They'll probably go straight on to part 2, I think. Here's Eric
Burleson.
Burleson.
Thank you, Mr. James Fox. It's an honor to be with you today. Look, shortly after the film by Oliver Stone was released about the assassination of JFK, Congress took action and passed the JFK Disclosure Act unanimously. They wouldn't have done that had it not been for an outcry from the public that was demanding answers. And it's my hope that your film and others like it will create that kind of momentum and that outcry. Because the truth is, if there's any government that's holding information about the knowledge of whether or not we are alone or not alone in the universe, that is not for any government, no matter how powerful it is, to withhold from the rest of humanity.
He's right there.
We are here to serve the people. This government belongs to you.
Oh, I've heard of that.
You don't belong to the government.
The trailer, David.
And never forget that.
I've seen the trailer.
I'm here to serve you, to try to get the truth to the people. We're working diligently to do that in the committee that I'm on, and I have a responsibility in that regard. I want to say thank you to these courageous individuals, my new friends from Brazil.
There may be no session 2. Oh dear. Oh man.
Thank you for your courage and your willingness to, risk your reputations and your careers for something that will benefit not just people of Brazil, but the rest of the world. Thank you.
Obrigada pela sua coragem de arriscar a sua reputação por algo que vai beneficiar não só os brasileiros, mas o mundo inteiro.
I want to say thank you to Kirk McConnell. He and others have been doing an amazing job at pushing this forward in a thoughtful way, helping people like me. I was a financial advisor and a software consultant. Had no idea when I ran for Congress that I would be doing this. But folks like him have been extremely helpful, and I couldn't do it without you.
I've seen the trailer of that film, David. Thank you. David spent.
And Colonel, I can't wait to get to know you.
David Schultz,
Thank you so much for coming forward today.
I must say, what
You're an inspiration for the rest of those who have served. You know, courage is contagious, and you're an inspiration. And hopefully, you'll compel more people to come forward. Appreciate that.
Oh, DJ's the SR-71. Yeah, that's a still secret, but then it was.
We've been given marching orders. We have legislation that we need to pass. We've heard from a lot of witnesses. It's time for action, and it's time to get the receipts. So it's time to pass the UAP Disclosure Act.
Oh, funny hell! Yeah, for the third time, it'll be the fourth effort, won't it? Because of the two mics and the
time to pass whistleblower protection within that or a separate act.
Garcia's trying to get it pushed through in a separate act, in a separate bill.
I go back to my original statement. The reason why so much information is currently today being released consistently, that the agencies of this federal government never wanted to see the light of day, is because Congress took action because the people demanded it. And I'm asking you, everyone here, and all the reporters here, and Leslie Keene, thank you for the brave work that you did with the report in 2017. You must stay with me. That one story destigmatized this entire topic and made it so that people could come forward. We need more people like Leslie Keene. We need reporters that are brave, that are willing to publish stories, and we need the social media warriors out there to continue to spread the information.
I know. But...
Act and push on members of Congress, because otherwise they won't do anything about it. Thank you again, and I'm proud to serve.
Yeah, no, he's the basest congressperson of all. Well done, Eric.
And exhale. Woof. All right. As I come back into my body. So this is the Q&A period. Congratulations, we've all survived it. A few notes. First of all, treat this like it's your house now, mostly. No feet up on the sofa, but take care of your biological needs as you need to. You can feel free to come and go. Like I said, we'll keep reiterating. We have time, so don't feel anxious about the questions. We'll get to them. You're going to treat me like ATC, so you're looking for my attention. And if you feel like I've missed you a couple times, you can start waving and shouting my name softly, nicely. Ground rule that I would like to kind of just set before everybody. We know we have a lot of different individuals in this community who represent all manner of experiences on the spectrum, whether it's sighting or other kinds of direct contact experiences. We just ask that when you're asking your questions today, that you keep it focused on the Varginha case and on the witnesses and presenters that are here today. We know that there's a lot of exciting topics to unpack, and we can certainly do that later when we're not in the Q&A period. But right now, let's make the most of the time that we have for the guests who are here. Agreed? Yes, agreed. Okay. All right. So now just the mechanics of how this is going to work. We have mics here so that you can direct your questions, say who the question's for, and then we'll allow that person to answer. We obviously have an interpreter, Eleni, here to help. And
two more.
and two more interpreters who can
On
help
standby, yeah.
if we need that. We'll have, I think, 2 mics to pass around. We have 1 and 1, 2. Got it. So we have 2 mics. And I'm going to hang out here with you guys until we get through to the end. After that,
That's ironic, the 2 mics, yeah.
there's a clock up there or on your phones or whatever. Okay? We feel ready? We're game? Yeah. All right. Are you caught is that a question? Are you're not? Oh, yes. All right. So we first question right here, just because he caught my eye. And say your name. Oh, and one more thing. We're looking for questions, not stories, right? So if you guys start to have a long preamble, I'm going to gently but firmly interrupt you and invite you to wrap it up and get to your points. With love.
Thank you. Ex-moderator from Norfolk, Virginia. I have a question for James and regardless of if James, are you any closer to getting the video of the Varginha case and the orange UFO that looked alive that you spoke about?
Well, for the first time, we have names of those that were in possession of it. So if that's closer, then yes, we are. But there are forces that be out there that we're just trying to see who can get it there. So yeah, and
it's breaking down. Oops, I think the live stream's broken down a little bit on Martin's connection. So we'll wait for him to come back. In the meantime, I'm going to go through some of these comments here. Some of my notes. Someone asked about the Greenland UFO. Can we leave that for this particular show, because that's such a big subject. And parallel evolution, the idea. This is David. Splendid Isolation brought this up. Is the fact the aliens do resemble us somewhat. Many of them do. Not all of them. The mantids and things like that. And there's like big blobs and stuff. But the 2 eyes, the nose, or things like that. Very small nose usually. Does this mean they're related to us? Are they somehow hybrids? Or is this kind of like panspermia, where life resembles itself, because life is actually not just confined to this one planet and is actually spread throughout space. I mean, again, that's too big a subject to go into in detail, David. But I do, I don't know. I really don't. The Chat GPT thing again. I did read that. I mean, I have to read it more carefully again, David. But because you sent me another Chat GPT conversation I never finished. But Chat GPT thinks that slow disclosure that is likely to prevent catastrophic disclosure. I agree with that. I think that seems to be going on. Indeed, Lou Elizondo, the reason he keeps putting fake stuff out is to try and slow the train down, because if he thinks it's going too fast. I think that's a bad idea. It's obviously going to backfire, because it fuels the skeptics and the backslappers. But it's obviously like a strategy that they're using. Someone asked, what's Bridget Barclay doing these days? Well, she's been quiet for a while. She did have her show where she did interviews and things on YouTube. Someone's asked about Genesis 6. That's right. It's in the Bible, isn't it? The giants and the daughters of the daughters of men who were like married the Nephilim or the Elohim, and they created the Nephilim or the wise men of renown, which implies there's like a hybrid race, which is like the elite. Someone asked about the Bank of England thing. I've done an entire article about that here. You can read about this, but it's a big subject. But yeah, the Bank of England apparently is preparing, or seems to be preparing. I've got this article here, Take Aliens to the Bank. You can check that out. The system cannot allow disclosure. Well, the system is losing control of things, I think, ever since 2016. This is why the 2017 thing happened. Someone who's gone now, Contacts International, there's some connection to Tesla and the Amazon. I'm afraid he didn't hang around to explain. German sources on capacitor stands in Brazil. In other words, they're using some kind of system for free energy. This reminds me of the old. They're already secretly using some system of free energy in Brazil. This reminds me a little bit of the jet fuel hoax, the situation. If you did a video about The signs, oh no, the South Atlantic gravitational anomaly or magnetic anomaly it appears that Varginha lies just within that. Oh, well, they come back now.
I'm a former epidemiologist with the CDC.
I've started, so I'm going to mute that because I've started, so I'll finish. The Signs movie, well, so we'll come back to that in a minute, but the Signs movie, yeah, very, very interesting film. Some people have interpreted it as more demonic than Alien, and it does have a religious theme, doesn't it? It does have a religious theme, as David and I have spoken about, with Graham, the main character played by Mel Gibson, the priest who loses his faith and he regains it. Ross Coulthard knows there's a facility where aliens are kept near DC, in which the Varginha aliens were taken. I hope he tells us more. I hope it's not just another of these. Oh, there's a giant UFO and it's buried under a building things, and I can't tell you because I'd love to know how he knew that. But there is some kind of global policy in place with the United States at the center, and whenever these things occur around the world, it appears that the Americans are sent in to pick them up. And as far as I know, no nation has actually disobeyed that policy that I know of, except possibly the Soviet Union in the Cold War. Coulthard has made his own appeal for witnesses. The latest news with David Rush. What's the latest news? Well, he's working for Alec. He's actually the personal assistant of Eric Burleson, who's just spoken. Is he genuine? I think Rush is genuine, yes. Can the president get into secret facilities? Technically, the president cannot be refused entry. But as we know from the Eisenhower papers, yeah, Eisenhower tried to get information and couldn't. Several of the presidents have been turned down when they tried to get information, as have members of Congress. And one of the reasons this has been privatized, like in the Battelle Memorial thing, do you remember my video about the Reddit alien? Is because, in a sense, this is a kind of laundering system. And indeed, it's a legal loophole. By privatizing and outsourcing this situation, it makes it even harder for government officials to get access. The film Begonia. Now, I've seen the trailer of that. It looks interesting. Yeah, and Eric Burleson was booked to speak at Contact in the Desert. How about that? Yeah, I mean, he wasn't there, but he was booked to speak last year when I was there. Okay, we'll go back now to the press club.
In the English version.
A bactéria, no caso, ela existe no planeta Terra, mas é extremamente pouco comum.
This bacteria actually exists on planet Earth, but it's not very common.
Thanks, Dave. He was just given an update
it's not very common for human beings to be infected by this bacteria.
E ele entende, o Dr. Janine entende, que seria necessário, talvez, se ainda possível, fazer uma exumação dos restos mortais do.
And Dr. Janini would love to actually exhume the body of the soldier to try to find traces of this bacteria in the bones.
We need to. They need to dig him up.
If we manage to get approval from the family and the local authorities.
Obviously, we return to the grave afterwards.
Entender melhor essa virulência, patogenicidade dessa bactéria, que é pouco comum no nosso ambiente.
So we can try to better understand the behavior and nature of this bacteria that's not very common in our environment.
O perito não cria e nem crê.
The specialist doesn't create nor believe.
Mas o Dr. Janine aventa a possibilidade
But Dr. Janini talked about the possibility
de pelas circunstâncias que têm chegado para a gente anos depois.
Due to the circumstances that we were made aware of years later.
Como foi dito aqui pessoalmente na gravação pela irmã do soldado Marco Elise,
like the sister of the soldier that we saw in the video earlier.
Que ele teria capturado esse extraterrestre.
That he would have captured this extraterrestrial with his bare hands.
Que talvez ele tenha inoculado essa bactéria, uma bactéria nesse soldado e provocado essa infecção que evoluiu de uma maneira muito rápida, de uma maneira, um soldado forte, jovem,
Pounder, we may be necessary to exhume him. Pounder says, let's not dig him up. It's all done very respectfully in his return to the grave afterwards. But he needs to. We need to get more information about this, about what killed him. The family want this.
E digo também que eu fui perito criminal, além de ser médico legista.
As doctors,
Sim, antes de ser médico legista, eu fui perito criminal da Polícia Civil do Estado de Minas Gerais.
he was a doctor with the police before he went into being a forensic pathologist, so he really knows what he's talking about.
E eu deixo um desafio para os senhores da imprensa, cientistas, né, americanos, cientistas brasileiros.
And he will leave this challenge to the press and to the scientists.
Como eu disse pessoalmente no Congresso americano,
As he said personally already.
seria interessante estudar os resíduos desta nave que estava pelo colega, meu amigo, cientista serrano.
It'd be interesting to research and to find ways to look for the residue at the crash site of the materials.
Do local onde ela teria caído, se no solo.
Yeah, investigating the crash site. Yeah, they've done that with Roswell.
At the farm, which is the location of the crash site, if there would be any residue of this ship in this crash.
Isso precisa de estudos de alta tecnologia.
All right, that's a good point, Pounder.
Estados Unidos e Brasil.
And that will require highly technological efforts, probably a partnership between the US
Um,
and Brazil.
Professor Carlos, fala desse metal que você
That
abre.
didn't happen the first time, right?
Assim,
That didn't happen the first time when they did the first post-mortem on him. These things can be done in a secure facility, like with barrier nursing and things like that, and barrier pathology. I used to do this when I was a hospital porter, and if it didn't happen the first time, why should it happen this time in terms of infection?
The examining of the body to study any possible vestiges of this bacteria in the DNA.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado. Yeah.
The fact that he needed direct contact with the creature and that it requires a skin lesion as well indicates that it's not like hyper-infectious.
Thank you all so much for being here, for your courage and for speaking your truth. This question is for Dr. Italo. Dr. Italo, have you had any sort of contact with any non-human intelligence, whether it's an alien or an angel, since your contact experience in Virginia 30 years ago? And if so, what was that like? Can you give us some details? If not, thank you anyway.
Obrigada pela sua coragem e se dentro do seu encontro com o ser você teria, se você teve algum encontro desde então, ou para o senhor saber mais sobre como é que foi a sua interação com ele.
Desde o momento que eu entrei naquela sala.
Guys, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to just stop this stream and start a new one. So give me about 5 minutes because there's part 2 coming up, and I need to just take a little break. All right, but hang around because there'll be another stream coming up very soon. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to all the people watching. There's more than 20, and I'll be back very soon. All right.